Hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there. Welcome back to the Agostinho Zinga show, starring I, your host and your friend that you wish you never had, Agostinho Zinga, coming live and direct to an undisclosed location somewhere within the depths of East London. How you guys doing? How you guys feeling? How you guys doing? How you guys feeling? How you guys doing? How you guys feeling? Welcome back to the Agostinho Zinga show. It's I, your host, your friend you wish you never had, Agostinho Zinga, coming live and direct from a live undisclosed location somewhere in London. I hope you're doing well wherever this stream may find you. I hope you are doing swimmingly. I hope you are doing swimmingly. How am I doing? Pretty good, all things considered. Pretty good, all things considered. It's been a bit of a weird one the last few days, but I've been enjoying it nonetheless. It's been a bit of a weird one last few days, but I'm enjoying it nonetheless. I'm enjoying it none the freaking less. Hopefully I'm not fucking bugging out right now. Am I bugging? Oh man, I think I've got an encoder overload. I think I might have a little bit too many windows open at the moment, and I'm fucking buffering like an absolute psychopath right now. But for the prospects and for the opportunity to just continue streaming, I'm just going to continue streaming, and I'm going to lock down some windows as I go along. Hopefully it doesn't get too crazy, but it looks like I'm buffering really madly, but hopefully it kind of softens up and gets a bit nicer later down the line. So yeah, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing well. Since last time I found you guys, I think I've taken out my hair, by the way. I think I may have updated you on that. I've taken out my braids, which has been a bit annoying because I really did like having my head, you know, my head shape back. I'm not gonna lie, I quite enjoyed having my head shape back. I enjoyed not having to fucking stretch my fucking headphones to the right to the end of the fucking, you know what I mean, of the strap thing to get them to fit on my head, because usually my hair is so big I have to fucking stretch the fucking headphones, overhead headphones strap thing all the way into the end to get them to fit on my head. It was quite nice to have my headphones just fit normally on my head. It was quite nice to wear baseball hats again. It was quite nice to wear camp caps again. It was quite nice to wear beanies. No, beanies not really. Beanies I didn't like the look of. I'm not gonna lie. I really do prefer the look of beanies when I have an afro. When I have hair like this out, I prefer how the beanies look. I like how they look so bulbous. It looks so crazy, especially when I wear like a balaclava. Sometimes I'm a real fan of wearing balaclavas, like balaclava woolly hats, because they're usually a little bit longer, because obviously they're meant to be pulled over your face. So they're usually longer and they can fit my head, and I love them. I love how they look in your head. Even some of those scullies. Some of those scully knit kind of beanies that kids wear nowadays, all the Gen Z kids wear, like the Artrix ones and other ones. I prefer how they look when you got bigger hair. Honestly, I don't really like how they look when you got like a one level or you got waves. Kind of makes your head look a little bit too small. I kind of don't mind my head. Like I'm like on some head maxing shit. I'm on like some head shape, head size maxing shit. I actually don't mind my head looking really big. You know, maybe it says something about myself and what I think about myself and whatever else it may be. But I really do like when my head looks kind of large, you know, when it looks kind of gargantuan. I don't really mind when my head looks kind of gargantuan. So it's been a bit mad having my hair out, but I'm sat here thinking what I'm gonna do next. Should I wait to get my hair braided? Like I'm in two minds. Should I wait to get my hair braided before I go away? Should I get it braided? No, should I get braided like a week before? Like, I don't know what people do. Maybe I need advice. Maybe it's why I need some black girls, you know. Maybe I need some more black girl friends, because I wonder what people do. Do you get your hair braided a week before you go? A day before you go? 3 days before you go? Like, what do you do? Do you know what I mean? Like, when you go away. Obviously, I'm not going to get it done there. That's fucking suck. Like, that would be the best thing. If I was going by myself, if I was going away on my own, I would do that. But going away with friends and then you're like taking time away to go get a haircut or to get your hair, it's a bit, I mean, it's a bit antisocial, isn't it? It's a bit crazy. So I'm not going to do that, but I would like to. That would be fucking ideal. Just going away and then getting your hair braided there when you land, so it's fucking fresh when you land there. That would be fucking amazing, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to just do it here. But what do? Do you do it a week before? Do you do it 2 days before? 3 days before? 1 day before? I'm not too sure, but I'm going to have to keep it like this for a while. Then obviously going to have it shampooed and conditioned, comb it all out, and then go to my fucking I gotta find a new place to go to, by the way. I'm gonna probably go back to my barbers. Big up F for Fade. If you're looking for a barber that does, like, if you're from London and you're struggling to find someone that does like American style, African American style fades, you know, with like the fucking lineups really nice and clean fucking fades. And the thing I really like about F for Fade is that the guy, especially the guy Franklin, there's two people I like F for Fade. There's a guy called Franklin who owns the location, who owns the barbershop, and he cuts like all celebrities and shit. He's a really cool guy, I like him. And there's also a girl that works, I forgot her name. There's a girl that works in this barbershop called FFA that I usually go to, and she is sick. She's really sick, right? She cuts hair really good. So I'm thinking when I go back to FFA, I may do the thing where they've got a package where you can get your hair braided and you can also get it cut and trimmed, because I usually want to get like the border done. So I'm probably gonna do that sometime soon, or before I leave. So let me just check. I'll just show you what I mean. But this is the place I usually go to. It's called FFA. They're located in like West London or Central London. Oh, it's private. Okay, cool. I can't bother to fucking check it. But yeah, this is a place that's, for some reason, the account's private. I don't know why you'd have a barber shop that has a private account. I guess you want to monitor who's following you, maybe. It's weird, but still. That's the barber shop. Unfortunately, it's private, so you can't see it. But it's located in Central London. It's really fucking good. And yeah. I really recommend you check it out, but I don't know what I want to do in terms of my hair going forward. I'm obviously going to get it cut, don't get me wrong. No, I'm also going to get it braided, obviously, because I've enjoyed getting it braided. I'm not really for this like leaving my hair out of life anymore. I really do like to have it compact and shit. Anyway, long story less long, let me quickly just dive into the things I've been doing the last few days to kind of give you an update on what my life is about. So I did watch the Odyssey in IMAX the other day. I watched the Odyssey in IMAX the other day, went there with a couple of friends, or went with a friend, and it was really good. I'm not gonna lie, really enjoyed watching the Odyssey the other day. Went to the IMAX in Greenwich. I, like an idiot, didn't know that the IMAX in Greenwich isn't where the O2 Greenwich is. I don't know if you guys know this, but the IMAX cinema in Greenwich is not the same place where the O2, you know, the Millennium Dome, the O2, it's not the same place. You have to kind of get another bus from the station to the IMAX. It's a little bit, you know what I mean? It's like a 15-minute journey away. Luckily, got there just in time for like the 10, I think it was 10:20, 10 past 10 p.m. 10 p.m. fucking showing. Jesus Christ, I can't talk right now. We got there just before that, right? And yeah, I think it was well worth it. It was well worth the experience of seeing, because I've never watched a movie in like a square aspect ratio. I've always watched it widescreen, right? So I've never had a square aspect ratio. Also got some really good seats. Like the seats were like in the row G, and it was right in the middle. Like row G, I think we had like seats like 19 to 17 or something, right? I think it was like there, right in the middle. So it was really fucking good seats, especially with my fucking shit eyesight. I saw everything crisply, clearly. And I really fucking enjoyed the Odyssey. I think Christopher Nolan absolutely killed it. I had forgotten about the soundscape of his movies. I've forgotten about just how great his movies sound, you know, like the crackling of the fire, the sound of the sail on the boat just slapping against the mast, the mast story as it's obvious, as the boat is obviously sailing in the open seas, the sound of the footsteps in the sand, the breathing, like the soundscape was so like visceral. It got you, like it just added so much texture to the fucking movie. Some of the performances were stellar. Some of the performances I did not like off bat. The performances I did not like off bat were Tom Holland. I thought Tom Holland kind of stood out by just how like unnecessary he was in the movie. I don't think he needed Tom Holland in the movie. I think somebody else could have done Tom Holland's role. I think Tom Holland was not good in that movie at all. I didn't like him at all. I thought he was kind of distractingly bad or something. Distractingly, he, like, you noticed him, if that makes sense. You noticed Tom Holland not doing a good job too much, you know? I thought Anne Hathaway was a fucking standout. She's fucking, you know, beautiful lady, by the way. Gorgeous woman. She was a fucking standout. I thought the Travis Scott and the Travis Scott fucking inclusion was unnecessary too. I don't see what speciality he added to the movie. I don't get why Travis Scott was in it at all. Don't understand why he was in it at all. It made really to no sense. It didn't really add anything, you know, to really that role. I feel like somebody else could have done that role and it would have been fine. Like, I don't know. If you're going to get Travis Scott to do a role in a movie, you may as well, like, use him. You know, I don't know if that makes sense. There's no point trying to pretend Travis Scott is an actor. If you're going to get him into the movie, you may as well just, like, cast him as, like, this, like, I don't know, some super villain. Some, like, musical super, I don't know, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, kind of lean into some of what he does in the real world, as opposed to trying to pretend he's some like artist or he's some like actor, right, with a capital A. I thought that was a bit strange. I thought the Elliot Page hate was a bit overrated. I thought the Elliot Page hate was a little bit overstated. I thought Elliot Page did a good job. I was heartbroken at the Elliot Page scene. I'm not going to spoil it, but I was fucking heartbroken at the Elliot Page scene. I thought the other scene later on in the movie, where Elliot Page has another scene, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I thought Elliot Page stood out well there. I thought Elliot Page was fucking great. I think the hate for Elliot Page was very over-egged. Yes, Elliot Page can be a little bit of an annoying person in interviews and whatever, I get it. But for the pure sense of just the acting on screen, I thought Elliot Page did a fucking stellar job. Obviously, the standout for me, Matt Damon. But I've always been a Matt Damon truther, Matt Damon believer. I've been on Matt Damon's nuts. I've been on Matt Damon's taint. I've been on Matt Damon's penis ever since the Bourne Identity franchise of movies. I've always been a lover of fucking Matt Damon. I think Matt Damon is that guy. Matt Damon is fucking that guy, so he was fucking stellar. I thought Charlize Theron was actually pretty decent in her role. I like Charlize Theron. Very ephemeral, right? Very ephemeral. A very like, again, they don't make people like that anymore. A very striking beauty, like you just can't take your eyes off her. Similar to that Anne Hathaway, just got that captivating face. I thought Zendaya was also decent. Her cameo role was decent. I was surprised to see her in it because again, I watched the trailer when it first dropped, but I didn't watch it again after. So I had a complete like media blackout. I didn't know anything about the movie. I kind of unfortunately found out about the Travis Scott feature, obviously, because it was everywhere. But I did stay away from a lot of teasers and clips. I watched it completely fresh, new. Obviously, I read the Odyssey when I was in school and shit. I'm obviously a fan of history in general. You guys know this. But I had purposely stayed away from just following it. I kind of knew generally, how the story goes, but I stayed away from trying to reread it. I wanted to experience it brand new as I went to the cinema. First things first, before we get into let me just go back in chronological order. The first thing is that the O2, the IMAX in Greenwich is not where you think it is, right? It's not in the O2 in Greenwich. It's actually a bit further away. You have to get on a bus or like a fucking Uber, whatever, to get there. You get there, no problem. It's fucking packed, right? Obviously, because it's IMAX. And obviously, at the same time, it's also Spider-Man Brand New Day, right? Which I haven't watched yet. Everyone's saying it's fucking amazing. Everyone is actually saying Tom Holland's fucking sensational in that. People are saying this is his best performance so far as Spider-Man. But I haven't watched it just yet. I'm kind of a bit, I'm not going to lie. Is this something that's going to sound a bit weird? I kind of don't like how Tom Holland always has his fucking mask off in Spider-Man. As a lover of comics, as a bit of a fucking nerd, I don't like the fact that a lot of these superhero movies, even Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., there's always so many, is that like in their contract that they have to have their fucking mask off and show their face? You're fucking Spider-Man, keep your mask on. Like when you're Peter Parker, you're Peter Parker. When you're Spider-Man, you're Spider-Man. It's so annoying. Like every scene I see of him, he's got his fucking mask off. Like, put the fucking mask on. It's the whole point. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But anyway, regardless. The cinema was packed. Fucking packed. IMAX Greenwich, I fucking hate you. I left my house. I had a packed day that day. I did some running in the morning. I went to the gym. I had like 2 gym sessions. I think I did a stream. I was working for a little bit. Like, I did a lot of things in that particular day. It's kind of my fault as well a little bit, right? So I'll take some accountability. I really pushed it to the edge. And I just about left my house on time to meet my friend to go watch the fucking movie. So I was really fucking on edge. And I did that dumb thing that people shouldn't do, where I did all my jobs, I did all my tasks for the day. Then before I left the house, I had a hot shower. I did that thing that you're not meant to do. I did all my tasks in the day, and then before I left the house, I had a hot fucking shower. Hot shower, like a hot one, right? So I came out of the fucking shower leaking. Just leaking. I sat in front of my fucking tower fan trying to cool down. I put on the fucking humidifier. I was trying everything to kind of cool down. It wasn't really working. Then obviously I was doing my fucking Korean skincare regime, and I was lathering on the fucking mucus. And I was leaking before I left, right? Leaking. Then I rushed to get the train, carried on leaking. So I'm trying to cool down, but I'm so hot that I'm not cooling down enough, right? But then I did cool down by the time I got there, right? Enough to kind of cool down. But I was so looking forward to getting there just buying the biggest fucking cup of Coca-Cola, filling it with ice, and just having that. I wasn't even bothered. Everyone was just, my friends were like, oh, we're gonna get hot dogs, I'm gonna get fucking popcorn, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that. I was like, fuck all that shit. Cause I thought I was gonna be late, right? So I just told them, before I get there, please just get me a fucking drink and I'll pay you back when I get there, right? So before I was rushing over, I was like, if you guys get there before me, please just fucking get there and get me a fucking the biggest cup of like soda you can get me, fill it up to the top with ice, and then I'll be there. I get there on time, we all walk in together, no problem. I go to queue up to go get a drink. Guess what? There's no ice. I turn to my right. I go ask one of the ladies that's working there. I'm like, hey, do you have any drinks? And then as I'm saying it, she's filling the fridge up with drinks. Drinks that she's literally taking off of the cardboard fucking pallets. She's literally scoring the thing, taking off the fucking shrink wrap plastic and putting the drinks in the fucking fridge. Drinks that are warm, room temperature, just come off a fucking delivery truck. So not only was the fridges not working, the drinks were just getting reloaded, and there was no ice. They had no ice. Have you ever been to a cinema where they have no ice? Does that make any sense, people in the stream chat? Let me know. Am I bugging out? Have you ever been to a cinema where they have no ice? Because usually a cinema has like slush puppies and all that type of malarkey. They had no fucking ice. So obviously I started fucking crashing out, right? In my head, obviously, right? Because I work in the service industry. I'm never going to crash out on the staff that work in there. But I started crashing out in my head. I started fucking crashing out in my head. I was like, oh my God. Because I was so looking forward when I got there. Because I didn't want to waste time and go to a shop and get a drink. I wanted just to get there on time, meet my friends, and then obviously go get my drink. I couldn't get one. There was no drinks. There was no there was drinks they were serving, but there's no ice. So they were willing to give you a fucking Pepsi from the tap, but there was no fucking ice. Oh my God, man. Living in fucking the UK. Living in the UK, man. They don't respect hydration. We do not respect hydration in this fucking country. So I'm sweating. I'm a bit fucking flustered. Walk up the stairs. And oh yeah, by the way, the escalators stopped working, right? The escalator stopped working, so you had to walk up like 4 flights of stairs to get to the fucking screen, which I don't mind, whatever, but still I'm leaking, so I'm continuing leaking again. Then you get into the cinema, and for the first time in my life, maybe it's just me, the cinema wasn't even cold. You know, usually when you go to a cinema room, the air conditioner is always blasting super hard and it's freezing in there, and you come with a t-shirt, you have to put on a fucking hoodie. For the first time ever, the air conditioning wasn't even on that hard. So I was still fucking leaking. So I spent the first half an hour or so of the fucking movie sitting with my fucking back cocked. Right? Sitting with the fucking straightest back, with my back fucking cocked, right? Sitting like I got a fucking fat ass, right? I was like sitting like that. Do you know what I mean? I was poking my ass, like trying to make sure my back wasn't touching the back of the seat, so I didn't like touch it with like, you know what I mean? So I didn't like combust with sweat as these two guys were next to me scoffing down their popcorn and their drinks. So I was a bit like all over frazzled, but I looked into the movie, really enjoyed it. I thought the first half was a bit slow. Second half was amazing. Middle, and then it picked up towards the end. But I thought the first half of the movie was a bit unnecessary. A bit unnecessary and a bit slow. I personally think he could have easily made that movie 2 hours. It was 2 hours 50 minutes, right? Nearly 3 hours long. I think he could have easily made that movie 2 hours and it would have been a banger. It was still a banger, don't get me wrong, but I think 2 hours would have been sick. 2 hours would have been fucking sick. He didn't do that, unfortunately. It was, you know, a bit more long-winded than that, but I really, really, really did fucking enjoy it. The one thing I didn't enjoy was the lack of identity, the lack of like focus on. Is it Adenednog? I can't pronounce his fucking name correctly. Let me see if I got it here. Is it Adenednog? Agamemnon. Sorry, Agamemnon. Agamemnon. The actor that plays Agamemnon. Why don't they ever fucking Benny Safdie? Why don't they ever focus on his face? Why don't they ever show you his face? I do like the scale of it, by the way, because I'm not too sure that Ben Safdie is actually that tall in real life. But the way they made him look so physically imposing, the walking shit was fucking great. But they never really show you his face. You never get a clear image of his face. It's always obstructed by this amazing helmet, by the way. The helmet, the design of the helmet, the design of the costume design in general was fucking incredible. The set design, or the sets where it was fucking filmed. If I'm not mistaken, someone told me that it was filmed majority in Greece. Did you hear that? allegedly, someone told me it was filmed majority in Greece. They filmed it all in fucking Greece. They absolutely killed it with the fucking set design, with the costume and shit. The CGI or whatever was used and done in a really good way as well. It wasn't overly kind of, fake looking and whatever else it may be. The soundscape was fucking great. I thought John Berthnell, I thought his cameo was really decent too. People had a lot of things to say about him previously or beforehand. I thought he did a really good job as well in his fucking cameo of the movie. I really fucking enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed the kind of, I don't know about you, but maybe because I haven't read too much around the story, but I do know about, the Trojan War and shit, right? And I never kind of looked at the Trojan horse, the way that they kind of twisted and depicted it in the Odyssey, or the way that Christopher Nolan kind of told it in the Odyssey. Well, just to kind of give you a bit of a spoiler, the kind of message that they take away from it is like, if somebody offers you their hand of peace, you should also kind of accept and not use it as an opportunity to kind of, declare further war, even if it is just, because that then goes on to ruin many lives and da-da-da-da. And I never thought of it that way. I never thought of like the Trojan, the whole idea of like using the Trojan horse, that gift, and then, obviously hiding all the soldiers in it. And then once they all go to sleep, everyone coming out and fucking, sacking the city. I never saw that as like a negative. I just saw that as like clever, creative, creative like army tactics, you know what I mean? Like an approach to kind of, to defeat your enemy. But I never saw it as a thing that kind of like disgraces your honor. As something that, as like it's almost like similar to like a UFC fighter or a fighter in general, kind of going to show somebody their gloves, to kind of touch gloves, and then the moment the person puts their hands out and you punch them in the sort of face. It's sort of allowed, right? It's kind of allowed. It's not against the rules, but it does go against the kind of like the beauty and the love of the game, And probably that's the same thing when it comes to war, like you're meant to be fighting equally on the battlefield. If somebody waves a white flag, you're not meant to go shoot them in the head when you walk up to them, So I kind of did like that kind of depiction of what they told there. And I also just like the overall message of humans in general, not necessarily heeding messages or signs when they come about, not taking the warnings, always having to really suffer. And I think I'm a good example of it. I'm probably a good testament of that person that has to really suffer, that has to really go down to fucking zero, that has to really lose everything before I finally fucking learn my lesson and realize, okay, cool, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do this, I kind of don't learn through like little messages, little fucking instances that are little warnings or little kind of cautionary tales or like, hey, da-da-da-da. It always has to go to the nth degree, to a really bad outcome for you to finally fucking learn that maybe you shouldn't do X, Y, and Z. So I thought they did a really good job of fucking making that for me anyway, the overriding message that I took away from the movie. So yeah, I recommend you go check it out. Honestly, I recommend you go check it out. I personally think it's worth the money to go see it in IMAX. I personally think it is well worth the hype as well. I can't wait this week especially, I can't wait to watch channels like Heavy Spoilers and everything else to go and watch, because I love watching those channels where they kind of break down the movies or break down the series and give you all these fucking details and the Easter eggs you may have missed out. But I like to watch them first on my own, you know what I mean? I like to watch the series and the movie first on my own and just watch it and get kind of and try and understand what I can understand from it, and then I'll go back and watch these YouTube channels that break it all down. I really can't wait for the breakdown to really kind of pick up on the stuff that I kind of maybe had missed out on or didn't really pick up at the time. But I really recommend you check it out. The Odyssey by Christopher Nolan. It's available now in all cinemas. Obviously, you can watch it regular, but I think if you have the money and you have the ability, please go watch it in IMAX. For me, I paid like £22, I think, £25 for the IMAX in Greenwich, and it was well worth the money to see it on that sort of scale, to see it in that kind of square aspect ratio, to see everything you could see in the frame, the sound. Like, it was fucking great. The only thing that wasn't too great about it, which I think I may do differently next time, I may go to that cinema. Where's that cinema in central London? I forgot the name of it. It's like a really posh one. They've got different branches in central London. I think if I'm going to do an IMAX, I'll do that. I think I'll go, because I couldn't go to like a really fancy IMAX because they were all booked up. So I think the only one that was available was that Greenwich one on that random Monday. No, was it a Wednesday? I think we went on a Wednesday, on the random Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. But I think the next time when I go watch a movie, especially in the cinema, I think I might just play the extra money and go to, I think, is it called Everyman? I forgot the cinema. It's a very posh brand somewhere in central London, and they have like really comfy seats, and they give you, and you can buy alcohol and like burgers and shit. So I think I might do that instead, because that extra bit is really important to me as well. Like being able to get a cold drink is like, that's a necessity going to a cinema. Being able to get a fucking cold fucking 2-liter cup of fucking Pepsi should be a God-given right in the cinema. The same way it should be a God-given right to get like a bucket of popcorn that, you know, is the size of your head. Personally, I'm not the biggest. Personally, I think popcorn's overrated. Unpopular opinion, but I think popcorn in general is overrated. I hate getting all the kernels stuck in your mouth, and then you end up fucking, you know what I mean, spitting all the fucking bits in the air like you're some fucking Somali pirate. I fucking hate it. I hate popcorn. I think popcorn is super overrated. I hate people that eat caramel popcorn, sugar popcorn, cover it in fucking syrup. You're fucking weird. If it's not just salt in general, like, leave me alone. But I hate popcorn. But I want the ability to be able to eat and be able to kind of, you know, I don't know, get some fucking Starburst and a fucking big, that's what I want really. I don't even want a fucking glizzy. There was a girl next to us actually. Big up that girl, man. She wasn't afraid. There's a girl next to us that had like a glizzy that was the size of my arm, size of my forearm. There was a girl next to us that had a glizzy that was the size of my fucking forearm in a little cardboard box thing, and she was taken to the face. It was the most I've laughed in a while silently. It was the most I laughed in a while silently. I was covering my mouth laughing so fucking hard. This girl was going for it, bro. She was not caring. You know what I mean? She was fucking going for it. But yeah, like if I want to get a fucking glizzy, if I want to get a little fucking double cheeseburger or something, like, yeah, cool, let me get it. But I need a drink first. You know what I mean? I want to cool down. I want to be able to have a fucking soda. And the lack of ice was shocking in the Greenwich and IMAX. But we fucking move. Big up the IMAX in Greenwich. Big up the blood clot IMAX in freaking Greenwich. You motherfuckers are legit. You motherfuckers are mother legit. Talking about legit. Have you guys been keeping up with some of the stuff happening with Chrisean? So there's this ongoing narrative, there's this ongoing rumor, there's this ongoing suggestion that Chrisean was involved with the death of her alleged baby daddy of the kid that she's got. That everyone says is meant to be Blueface, but people are saying it's not. The kid that's got clearly suffers from some type of disability, and the kid that obviously a lot of people blame Chrisean for have that disability, because while she was pregnant, she was drinking, smoking, allegedly doing other, you know, recreational drugs and shit, and not giving a flying fuck. And the whole time people are telling her, hey, if you keep doing this, that kid's gonna come out and have, like, I've got the term, there's a particular condition that kids get if the mother basically abuses drugs and alcohol while they're pregnant because you're not meant to. And she didn't listen, and then the kid came out exactly how people described that she would. When the kid was born, though, apart from obviously the kid having a face that kind of looks like they're suffering from some type of, you know, disability, whatever, people recognized straight away that the kid facially didn't really look like Blueface, which I didn't pick up on, because again, I'm not really, you know, familiar with kids. I don't have kids myself, but some people really picked up on the thing that this kid doesn't look like Blueface. And then at the time, she was also hooking up with this guy called, I think his name is Ronnie or something, and they're alleging that Chrisean may have been involved in the murder of that guy, because that guy got killed recently. The guy that people are alleging may be actually the real dad of Chrisean's kid. Absolutely horrifying. So people are alleging that Chrisean got the baby daddy murdered because she was at the time negotiating a big deal with Zeus for a reality TV show. It was worth some type of multiple of millions, but the deal obviously was centered, or was relied upon Blueface being the dad, because Blueface is the big celebrity, right? He's the one that's a big draw. So Zeus wasn't willing to pay Chrisean big money if Blueface wasn't involved. So she kind of had to, you know, I guess on her side, she kind of had to remove the real baby daddy out of the equation, and that's why he eventually lost his life. That's what they're alleging. So there's loads of clips coming out of her, obviously saying some very incriminating things that kind of makes her look really crazy. Recently, she went on a mad rant in her car, talking about how she didn't do it, and people are bugging out. And she went on a rant in her car, and she said something like, "Oh, the detective told me I'm not under investigation." which is fucking crazy to say, as if like police officers can't lie to you. Like they're allowed to lie to you. Like police are allowed to lie to you as they're fucking investigating a crime. Like they don't have to tell you the truth. So she says that because the police officers told her that she's not under investigation, that means she's not involved. But there's loads of other clips going around where it kind of is suggested that she may have been involved in the death of the kid, but of the baby daddy. But the thing that really hurts my spirit and hurts my soul is this clip that I saw on social media going viral. This clip really fucking hurts my soul, hurts my spirit. And it's Chrisean trying to get the kid to walk and the kid not being able to walk and clearly being disabled, clearly needing help. And it's one thing that she clearly, in my personal opinion, not even, you know, it's not even an argument. She clearly has some culpability in this kid not being able to walk, right? She's clearly responsible for this kid being disabled, right? We can all agree on that. That's not up for debate. The thing that's really distressing is the fact that she refuses to try and get the kid help. You know, that's what really breaks my heart. Okay, this has happened, right? Okay, this has happened. Okay, this kid has come out and the kid's not going to have, like, let's say a quintessential, normal, easy life. They're going to need a lot of help. They're going to need a lot of assistance, right? They're going to need probably care until the day that they, you know, eventually pass away type of thing, unfortunately. But if, as of now, the kid needs a lot of, especially during this infancy, you would imagine if a kid's got a disability like this, you would imagine this is probably the most important time for a kid. Right now, it's probably really important to really get the kid the help that they need so that it can kind of aid them as they become a bit older, so they can maybe have a little bit of independency and stuff. You know what I mean? Like just a little bit. Like you want to just help them as much as you can. But she refuses to get them help. I don't know why. But some reason she refuses to get this kid professional help. She says the kid will learn how to walk and be functioning quote unquote normally in their own time. We're just being dramatic on the internet. There's nothing wrong with my baby. This kid will be fine in their own time. And I don't really understand why child protective services aren't stepping in. I don't get it. Like people like to weaponize CPS and stuff. CPS sometimes like to kind of overstep and get involved. Like, you know, fucking God forbid a mother or a father, you know, fucking spanks their kid because they came home late or because they're disrespectful to somebody, and then that kid calls CPS or tells the internet, and the CPS will kind of come to the fucking kid's crib and harass the parents and shame them and shit, right? God forbid that happens, right? Even with Ethan Klein, when Ethan Klein was going through that madness with fucking iDubbbz and they accused him of abusing his children, the fucking CPS came out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Visited houses and stuff, you know, super distressing scenes. But we're seeing this woman clearly, in my opinion, abusing this kid, neglecting this kid, not getting a kid the help they obviously need. But CPS isn't stepping in. What the fuck is going on? Where's CPS? So this video is really fucking distressing. Trigger warning for those of you that don't like to see kids, you know, in this type of distress. Mute or look away for the next 5 minutes or so. But this is a really troubling video of Chrisean attempting to help her kid walk, but obviously the kid being unable to walk because the kid is clearly disabled. But she refuses to acknowledge it. She refuses to take any responsibility or accountability for what she may have contributed to the kid's disability. And more importantly, she refuses to get the kid help that the kid clearly needs. Professional help. And it's fucking heartbreaking. Apart from the alleged, oh, she may have murdered her baby daddy, this breaks my fucking heart.
You ready to go, Bianca? Huh? Huh? Let me see what your hat on. You don't like the hat? You don't like that? You don't like that? Look, let me see. Let me see how you look. Look at you, boy.
He's even physically too big to make the sounds he's making. You know? Physically, even physically, shape-wise, he's too big of a kid to be making those sounds, you know? I'd be worried about that. The kind of the fact that he's non-verbal, you know? Again, you fucked up. You're Chrisean, you fucking fucked up. You're the one that was smoking, drinking, doing lines and shit, whippets and shit while you were pregnant. You made the mistake now. It's over. You kind of have to deal with the situation as it is. Get the kid some help, man. What the fuck are you doing?
Look at you. Let me see you snap back. Let me see what she snap back. You don't like it? Let's see. Let's do it. Let's see. The hat's so big. Let's see. Let me see. You don't like it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I know, like, some women out there, especially the ones in America that love her, like, she's got a weird fan base of people that idolize her. There was a time when she was really popping, when her and Blueface were going through a lot of the drama online, where some of her IG, like it's hard to fake views on IG Live. From what I understand, it's really hard to like fake views and buy views on IG Live. There are obviously apps you can use that can make your numbers look a certain way, but it's hard to actually fake the numbers. There were times where she was having like 100,000 people just watching her rolling up a blunt, watching her drinking, watching her just, you know, spaz out and be fucking crazy. Like, she has crazy motion online. Like, women, for some reason, I don't know if it's the car crash nature of her or something, but they really fuck with Chrisean. Women really fuck with Chrisean. I think a lot of it has enabled her to just be this person that she is now, with zero accountability, like just a mess of a person. And I don't know, it's really sad, you know, that at the heart of it, the one that's suffering is an innocent child that has had nothing to do with this, you know? An innocent child is the one that's fucking suffering. So I fucking hate it. I really fucking do. Hope the kid gets the help that they need. I really hope the kid gets the help that they need. And I'm going to keep my eye open on this ongoing alleged murder fucking allegation against Chrisean, because that could be a crazy twist of the story. That could be a crazy twist to the end of the story, with Chrisean fucking going to prison for allegedly murdering her fucking baby daddy of her kid that isn't allegedly fucking Blueface's. In the end, it's some other guys. Like, wild twist. Wild twist. Cool. Continuing on. Let's crack on and let's talk a little bit about... Do you remember that crazy story about those two girls who were allegedly warring over this one UK rapper, which eventually culminated in them meeting up at some club or bumping into each other at a club, which then led to a fight, which then led to one of the girls outside of the club jumping in her car and ramming the car into her love rival, and the woman obviously dying, right? That girl unfortunately passed away, so RIP to her. And the girl allegedly responsible for it is now in prison, right? Obviously, awaiting her trial, and she's obviously facing crazy amount of numbers of years in prison. But she has finally put in her verdict, right? She's finally put in her plea. Sorry, not a plea. She's finally put in her plea, and she's pleaded not guilty. She's pleaded not guilty to murder in GBH. Maybe I don't know if this is, like, I'd imagine in this sort of thing where there's video evidence of you jumping in your car and literally plowing down, like, because the clip that I saw, it obviously does look, to be fair to this girl, right? This whole idea that the other girl is like blameless is not true, right? The other girl that passed away, although it's tragic, she does have some culpability in it as well for not being willing to like fight this girl one-on-one. Because let's be honest, from the videos that we saw, we did see clips that showed this girl and the girl that passed away engaging in a fight. Then we saw the girl that passed away and her friends looking like they were jumping this girl. Like, you know, there was more than one that were fighting her. So she was outnumbered. So this idea that she was outnumbered and she felt like she had to defend herself, I understand that. But murder is still murder. You know? Murder is still fucking murder. So I don't really understand that part of it, unless maybe she's trying to go down the manslaughter thing. But I don't know how you can, maybe you can kind of like go down the path of manslaughter and say it's kind of involuntary and you're just trying to protect yourself and you were scared and you blacked out. I don't really fucking know. But it is kind of tragic, because what this means now is that going forward is that the family is going to have to relive everything that happened in horrifying detail in court. There's going to be obviously autopsy stuff and videos and clips and whatever. There's going to be loads of things that the victim's family are going to have to unfortunately relive, because now this girl has, you know, pleaded not guilty, and there's going to be now a very long drawn out fucking trial that's going to be over and covering this. But she hasn't really learned a lesson though. I saw a screenshot the other day of this girl that's in prison now, this girl called Carrington. I think it's Gabby, right? And she hasn't really learned a lesson. because I saw somebody uploaded a screenshot from her Snapchat or something like, oh, big up to the real ones that have been coming down the M way, visit me, free me. I don't know, like just sounded like, just trying to sound like a goon, trying to sound like some badass. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. You're a real loser for throwing your life away for some dude who at the end didn't even claim any of you, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, the guy that they were allegedly fighting over was Twiness or something, right? One of them, right? Maybe it's Twiness or another, like the other guy, the other twin. But I think I saw a clip of him on the 90 Show podcast, and he basically denied ever being with either of them. I think he denied knowing either of them. He denied the whole thing. He said it was all made up by the internet. It's not true. I don't know these people. I'm not involved. So they both were fighting each other online over this guy. She ended up killing another girl over this guy that they were allegedly with, and in the end he gets on a podcast and he denies knowing either of you. Fucking crazy and embarrassing and really fucking sad, you know, really fucking sad. How her life was thrown away. Even worse as well, there was that story allegedly about some guy bending over and looking like he was robbing the girl that passed away of her chain or necklace. I'm not sure if that guy got caught ever. The other tragic part of the story is the security guard who was moving his bike out of the way when they were fighting and ended up getting himself hurt as well. And allegedly he now is permanently, crippled or something as well. Like, just a tragic loss of life, completely avoidable. And now it's going to be a long drawn out process. And, you know, it is what it is. But look at this sketch of her in court, by the way. Look at this sketch of her in court. Look at how she turned up in court. Look at this sketch of her in court. Look how she turned up. She turned up in court wearing like a black top, maybe with a zip, I think, with her fucking with a bit of her cleavage showing out, some makeup, her hair done, looking all cute. She's on trial for murder. She's on trial for running over a girl in like, you know, in 4K, in loads of different angles. You see her literally running this girl over. The car kind of reversing, and the girls, if I'm not mistaken, the really horrible bit about it is that this girl clearly blacked out, right, and went crazy and jumped in the car. She runs the girl over. The girl clearly is dead or is like getting her last breaths. She rolls the car back, and the girl's body's all like mangled. Her limbs are going in different directions. But this girl's so blacked out with rage that she walks over to her and lifts her head up, like talking to her. But I think when she lifted her head up with her, or she went to go talk to her, I think that's when she realized, oh shit, this girl. I think that's when it clicked. Oh shit, I just killed this girl. And then she kind of steps back and kind of, you know what I mean? She has like a freeze moment where she's like not sure what to do. I don't know, man. Tragic, that. Just pure trash, man. Pure trashy people. But hey, former X Factor finalist denies murder in GBH. Former X Factor finalist has denied murdering a social media influencer by running her over with a car. Gabrielle Carrington from Manchester allegedly struck Klaudia Zakrzewska outside Inca nightclub in Argyle Street in Soho at 4:30 a.m. The 29-year-old appeared at the Old Bailey by video link from Bronzefield Prison to deny the charge. She had been initially charged with attempted murder, but has charged to murder after Klaudia died from her injuries 6 days later. That must have been brutal. She must have been in so much pain. Hopefully she's in a coma, but I'd imagine she must have been in so much pain for those fucking 6 days. Fighting super hard to stay alive, but I think unfortunately those injuries were too horrific. Like, she got like that crash, that was a ramming. That wasn't like somebody just knocking you with their car and you spinning and hitting the floor. Like, she got rammed into a wall. Like, that was it was horrible, man. Horrible. RIP to Klaudia, man. What a horrible way to go out. Carrington, who was not represented in court by a barrister, also denied a second charge of causing grievous bodily harm with intent to security guard of Anoush Chyche. The defendant was not asked to enter a plea to a third charge of driving with excessive alcohol. 5 members of the victim shook their head as the accused read out her pleas. Judge Sarah Whitehouse, KC, confirmed the trial would be held at the same court from the 5th of January. So she's gonna be in fucking prison until the 5th of January facing trial. Crazy. Carrington appeared emotional in the video link, wiping tears away from her face throughout the hearing, and is placed in custody afterwards. Why are you crying? Like, why are you crying? You entered a plea of not guilty. You're going to put the family through the horror of having to relive all of that fucking pain. You're the one that fucking killed the girl in a moment of fucking madness, and now you're in the fucking stand crying. Oh, yeah. Carrington allegedly arrived in Argyle Street in her car and appeared to now have a male as she got out of her vehicle. The altercation escalated as more people became involved, prompting a security to intervene. She allegedly got back into her car, moved off, sharply mounting the pavement, striking Klaudia. But as well, man, Klaudia as well, man, like, lack of fucking spatial awareness. Like, if you're fighting somebody and you're involved in a scuffle like that, you never turn your back. Like, she made a fatal error turning her back. After the fight, after like the kind of the two little scuffles you see on the screen, if I'm not mistaken, the fatal error she made is that she turned her back and she walked across the path of fucking this Gabrielle's car. And obviously that girl saw her in a line of eyes, a line of sight, and then just, you know what I mean, pressed on the accelerator and mowed her down. She should have never turned her back, and she should have never walked in front of the fucking car, and she would have probably likely been alive today, you know? But in the end, these women should have never been fighting over a guy that wasn't their fucking boyfriends or husband. Like, don't fight ever any guy. Forget that. There's no man you should be fighting over that's worth doing this. The same token, there's not one girl, doesn't matter how sexy, beautiful, voluptuous, you know, funny, there's not a single person that's worth doing this for. It's just really tragic and horrible. Live to fight another day. It's heartbreaking to be deceived and to have somebody betray you for your loyalty, whatever. I understand. It's heartbreaking finding out your guy was cheating on you with another fucking IG baddie. I understand. But live to fight another day, man. Live to fight another day. This whole thing was so unavoidable, so tragic, and so unnecessary. Such an unnecessary death. Such an unnecessary death. And now everyone's family is destroyed. Gabrielle, the fucking alleged assailant, she's fucking obviously her life has been destroyed. Claudia's family, I'd imagine, are never gonna be the same again. Her family and friends, the friends that were there helping her fight, they're probably, you know, permanently gonna be affected by this. It's truly, truly tragic. She allegedly got back into her car, moved off, sharply mounted the pavement, striking Zakrzewska. The vehicle went in to strike Chyche, who was on the pavement, it claimed. As it reversed, Klaudia could be seen under the vehicle lying prone on the ground. The video is horrible, honestly, so bad. Klaudia died late in hospital, and Chyche in his 50s suffered life-changing injuries. They never really specified what happened to him, right? They always say that security guard, Chyche or Chechi, they always say he's life-changing, so I'm assuming it's some type of, you know, amputation, some type of crippling, whatever. Just something that's going to affect him and require him to have like help. That's the victim here, right, Klaudia? The defendant, who was more than 365,000 followers on Instagram under the handle Relly UK, made it to the X Factor Live Finals of 2013 as one of the 3 members of Miss Dynamics. She was described in court as a social media influencer who made regular trips to the United Arab Emirates. We know why. Klaudia, who was in her 30s, was a TikTok Instagram influencer who went by the name Klaudia Glam. So yeah, horrible story, horrible update, really fucking horrible update. And just, you know, again, just the lack of seriousness, like the lack of seriousness in her appearance when it comes to her being in court, looking that way and then wiping away your tears when you're the person that caused the death. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just all fucking tragic, all fucking tragic. RIP to Klaudia, RIP to Klaudia. Let's see how the trial goes on. Let's see how the trial goes on. Trials, we have to talk about young Philly being found not guilty of rape. Who would have guessed that, eh? Who would have fucking guessed that? I didn't. It wasn't looking good for him when it initially was broke, when the story initially broke. It wasn't looking good. But as the trial approached and we started to learn more details, it did seem a little bit shaky, I'm not gonna lie. The first thing that kind of stood out to me was the fact that the girl involved was a mega fan of Young Philly, like a stan, basically. The girl involved was essentially a stan. The girl involved wanted to marry Young Philly, was having, talked openly about it with her family and friends. This wasn't some random groupie. This was somebody that was heavily invested in his career, followed him closely. Maybe they had exchanged, you know, whatever beforehand, but this was a person that was really in, you know what I mean, down bad with him. And then of course finding out that they left pretty well when they left the club, there was nothing issue, and the only issue really occurred was when they eventually ended up having sex. and whether or not young Philly said some abusive things to her, whether or not he did excessive force, but it didn't seem like it. There's no, do you know what I mean? All the evidence around it, when it comes to the way that she kind of spoke about the interaction with her friends, everything, it all seemed consensual. She just maybe woke up the next day and probably didn't like the way maybe young Philly ended the night, because, you know, the one detail that was very striking was the fact that young Philly ordered room service but didn't want to give her any fries. That was the thing that really stood out to me. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to lie. If I'm a girl, I must say things like that should tell you more about a person's character. Like a guy taking you out or a guy inviting you back to his crib, ordering some Uber Eats or something, and then not wanting to order you anything says a lot about the guy. Doesn't matter if he fucking, do you know what I mean? If he twisted you up like a pretzel, blew your blackout to fucking smithereens, had you fucking, you know, had you fucking hitting some high notes at you on some fucking choir, right? If at the end of the night he refuses to like share some fries with you, he refuses to get you a fucking double cheeseburger, he refuses to, I don't know, get you a fucking sandwich, that guy's not a good guy. So it's kind of funny in a really odd poetic way that this girl essentially, I think, if I'm gonna put my, you know, my cards on the table here, this girl lied about the rape because she felt embarrassed and disrespected by the way that young Philly treated her after the actual intercourse. She felt so, like, she was a fan and she felt so disrespected, so heartbroken that young Philly wouldn't like treat her well after, wouldn't maybe snuggle, wouldn't give her some fries, wouldn't order a pizza, that she kind of vowed to ruin his life. And I think that's a lesson for all men out there. I think it's possible. It doesn't seem like it because there's not a lot of evidence of it out there in real life. I gotta be honest. There's not a lot of evidence out there in real life, but I do think it's possible to be a fucking dog, right? To be an absolute dog in the streets, to be out there putting up fucking numbers on the strip, you know what I mean? Tackling things, taking things down, just being out there, right? Being for the streets, and also be a gentleman. You can be of the streets and still be a gentleman. I think it's possible. It doesn't seem like it. I don't have many examples that I can show you offhand, even myself, right? I don't necessarily think I'm a great guy when it comes to that sort of stuff, but I do think it's possible to just be decent, have some manners, and treat girls well, even if you are just kind of, you know, chopping them down. I don't think it's necessary to like go and hook up with a girl, allegedly start calling her like names and stuff. I think as they were having intercourse, he was like calling her, oh, you're my fat whore, you're this, you're that. It's like, bro, you just met the girl. Like, I don't know if that kind of sex play is gonna be like okay. Like, she might turn back. Like, you wouldn't want anyone the day after regretting like being with you. You wouldn't want them to have like a pleasant, you don't want them to have a pleasant an unpleasant experience in the moment, and you wouldn't want them after to feel like, oh, I didn't like what I did there, I didn't like how he spoke to me. So I don't know, maybe refrain from the sex play and the kinky stuff. I mean, just like, you know, do what needs to be done, and as you guys get to know each other over time and get more comfortable and share certain things, and yeah, maybe you can explore other things. But I don't think it was necessary for him to do all that other stuff, and I think that may have contributed to her deciding to lie. Now, her lying about the rape is still bad, but unfortunately we live in a world where, for whatever reason, you know, maybe it's just really hard to put those laws into place, but there's not really a lot of consequences for girls that go around and falsely accuse guys of rape. It doesn't really exist. I still think it's very overblown, guys' fear of getting accused of rape. I still think it's very overblown. I don't think there are like, in the grand scheme of things, there's still more rape allegations that are true that don't get prosecuted because it's a he said, she said, because, you know, too much time has passed. There's not a sex kit available, blah, 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 blah. Maybe the person doesn't want to give evidence. There's still more cases of women being raped, unfortunately, and the person that did it not being prosecuted because of loopholes and whatever. Then there are of women, I personally think, falsely accusing men. I think the whole falsely accusing men thing, and that being a pandemic and a thing, is similar to like all the fake hysteria around spiking in clubs. I don't think it's as deep as people make it seem as. I think people are just like, you know what I mean, inventing a lot of these fucking stories and also panicking over things that are happening to high profile people. I think most of us regular guys out there, you know, it's unlikely you're going to come into a situation where someone's going to accuse you falsely of rape. Like, relax. You don't have, I mean, you really have nothing to take. That, you know what I mean? Like, you're not that big of a deal that is going to happen to you. But I still think there needs to be some recourse There needs to be some consequences for women that do go out and accuse people of rape falsely. Because, like it or not, it does then put a lot of women's actual true allegations or accounts into jeopardy, because people are then going to be not quick to kind of believe them, and you know what I mean, or just essentially just say it's not true because of all these other things that we're reading in the press. So it doesn't help. But as we all know, hell have no fury like a woman scorned. Hell have no fury like a woman scorned. Young Philly was, in my opinion, I think, doing a little bit too much with this girl, being a little bit too comfortable, maybe being a little bit too disrespectful, and it bit him in the ass. Also, I think going to Australia as a young black man, there are plenty of women that you could probably chop down, allegedly, because allegedly Australian women, you know, are really into the black dudes I've been hearing on the social medias. You could have had a good enough experience with a grown adult that would have been fine as well. I also have a problem with the age. The girl was like 19, 18. I don't know. I have a little problem with that too. I'm not going to lie. I have a little bit of a problem with the age. I know it's technically legal. I get it. Some of you guys are going to see me a bit simp, but I think he's a little bit too old and grown to be like chopping down 19-year-old things in a foreign country. I think that also maybe a contributor to this kind of issue, you know? And I'm a big believer in like personal responsibility. I'm a big believer in personal accountability. I'm a big believer in fucking, you know, extreme ownership. Big up fucking Jocko Willink. You know, I always talk about that fucking book, but I really do believe in that, and that's my philosophy in life. Like, always be responsible and take ownership. And I think in this particular scenario, although he's not guilty of the rape, congratulations to him, he's still got to face the fucking abuse things. There still might be a retrial. There's still a lot of fucking a cloud over him. And the horrible thing about it as well is that most likely this was a false thing. Most likely most of us can come to the conclusion that yes, he was a piece of shit to the girl. Yes, he maybe didn't treat her well in their sexual intercourse, in their interaction in general, with the whole biting and the whole calling her a fat whore and shit while they were doing it. But all the opportunities are gone. His position prior is gone. All his industry friends are gone. That cloud's gonna remain over his head. You know what I mean? And it's cost him his career, basically. Even though technically it's not really true. It's cost him his career. UK rapper Young Philly found not guilty of raping women after Australia show. Let's play the clip from the BBC.
Young Philly has been found not guilty of raping a young fan during a one-night stand in Australia. The British rapper and YouTuber, whose real name is Andres Felipe Valencia Barrientos, was facing 10 charges in total, including several counts of rape and sexual assault, after spending the night with a young fan after a concert here in Australia back in September 2024. The jury cleared him of 3 counts of rape and 2 further counts of allegedly slapping and choking the young woman. He was found guilty on 2 counts of assault, and the jury couldn't reach a verdict on a further 3 counts of rape. During the trial, the young woman who accused him said that they had had consensual sex in his hotel room before it turned violent, accusing the social media star of biting, bruising, and even trying to choke her. Young Philly said that vibes were good between the two and that he'd fancied the woman, and he told the court that he'd given love bites to the woman during sex. After the verdicts were read out, Young Philly reportedly cried. He'll remain on bail until August the 21st, when they'll decide on a sentencing date for those charges he was found guilty of. The prosecution will also work out the next step for the charges where the jury couldn't reach a verdict.
Jesus Christ. He's basically lost like what? 2 to 3 years of his life. He still might face some prison time for the abuse. But I seriously think, in my opinion, again, call me a simp, call me a fucking loser. I think like biting and choking somebody that you just met is a bit mad, isn't it? No? Biting and choking and slapping, like, is that what people are doing out in the streets? Maybe I'm a bit naive. Maybe I'm not really with it, right? But is that normal? Is that normal to like hook up with somebody for the first time and you're biting and choking and slapping and shit and like doing like crazy, very, you know, vulgar like sex play words and shit? Is that normal? Don't you do that usually with somebody you're comfortable with, that you maybe had that conversation with prior? Just on the first rip, going for the fucking choke and the slap, like, ooh, that sounds a little bit crazy. That sounds a bit crazy for me. So yeah, although he's innocent, although he's been found somewhat, you know, not guilty, he's obviously still going to suffer the consequences of this, because, you know, It's fucking crazy. He told her he fancied her and shit, so he saw that. And then I actually found out what the girl looked like. Somebody posted this was like, what, 2024? I completely missed this, by the way. I completely missed this, but this is allegedly what the girl looked like, right? This is allegedly what the girl looks like that was involved in it. Her name is like allegedly said Emma Burns or something, right? And again, I don't know. I just think it's a bit unfair when somebody goes through something like this and then the person gets found not guilty. It's different if the person gets found guilty, but if the person gets found not guilty, the accuser should also be revealed, in my personal opinion. Like, just as much as he's been facing media scrutiny for what he allegedly may have done or not done, you also should face some media scrutiny too for what you may or may not have done in terms of false allegations, you know? Like, why do you get to live a life of privacy? Why do you get to have your identity concealed when you're the person who may allegedly have falsely accused somebody? Now, I'm not saying like, because I still think, in my personal opinion, biting and choking and slapping, and also, in my opinion, like not giving somebody some fries after they've let you fucking bust them down in a hotel after a show, I think that's kind of insane. Personally speaking, I think it's okay to be a gentleman and also chop down things. I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's simpy. I don't think that's tricking. Like, personally, I don't think that counts as tricking, ordering a girl a fucking Uber Eats or getting her a fucking Uber home. Like, I think you're allowed to, like, I think it should be encouraged that men, if you want to be a dog, you can also be a gentleman. But you don't get to then accuse me of graping you because I didn't want to get you a fucking cheeseburger. Like, come on, man, grow up. Grow up. You're allowed to regret having sex with somebody. You're perfectly right to be like, oh man, I wish I'd never let that guy touch me. I wish I'd never got close to that guy, man. Never meet your heroes. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to think that. You're allowed to regret that interaction. But it doesn't mean you're allowed to then turn around and say, oh, because I regretted it, now I want to accuse them of rape. Because that's horrible, bro. This guy lost his entire career. Don't get me wrong. I think he lost his entire career deservingly so. If I'm going to be honest. I think he deservedly lost his entire career because he's just too freaked out. He's too freaked out. There's too many clips of him being overly especially the clips of him doing the people. For me, the damning verdict for me was how his friends talked about him. His friends in media, his friends in entertainment, saying that if they had sisters, they wouldn't let them date him and shit. That was damning, man. That was damning as fuck. All his friends saying that they would never ever let their sisters date him was fucked up. You know? All the clips of him doing those like the street interviews and doing fucking random interviews at festivals, and anytime there's a girl, he's always doing sexual innuendo jokes and being very kind of sex pesty and creepy. Like, there was too much evidence, too much documentation of him just doing a lot when it comes to the girls, right? So I think he kind of deserved, in a way, what came to him because of the amount of energy like that he was putting out there. Eventually it was going to bite him in the ass. Eventually there was going to be one girl was going to be like, ugh. I was kind of into it. Like, that's the thing as well. Girls are temperamental. Like, people know this. Like, girls are temperamental. Girls' emotions change. They shift. She could have been into it one moment and suddenly not into it when he started to really get serious and started to really, you know what I mean, like sink his teeth into her shoulder and shit. Like, do you know what I mean? He just did too much. He just did fucking too much. But I also don't like the fact that this girl's identity has been completely, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. It's just weird how that's a thing online. But regardless, that allegedly is her. The people are saying. Let's continue on here. There's also this clip doing the rounds. I don't know how happy I'd be if I'm young Philly and I've got HS Tiki Toki in my corner. I'm not going to lie. HS Tiki Toki is out here talking about how he was on the phone to young Philly, how allegedly he was the one behind paying for his representation. Because I didn't even know HS Tiki Toki and young Philly are friends. I had no idea that they were friends. Allegedly, they are kind of cool with each other. And HS Tiki Toki behind the scenes was paying for his lawyers, helping him out, supporting him, talking to him offline and shit. And he was obviously had a very emotional outburst about the not guilty plea and basically called out his friends or his ex-friends like Chunks and shit for not holding him down and not standing by him. But I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I think if you work in the entertainment industry, if you work in media and somebody close to you gets that type of accusation. Now, do I think it was good of them to come out and chastise him? No. I think if that's your friend, you don't need to come out and like disown the person. You don't need to come out and disown them. You don't need to come out and do that. That's a bit too extreme. Just don't talk about it. Just refuse to comment on it. Silently step away, and that's already a message sent. You don't need to come out and admonish and make a statement and talk about how. I mean, that's horrible, slimy self-preservation shit. You can self-preserve with a bit of dignity. You know what I mean? With a bit of dignity and a bit of pride, you can remain. You know what I mean? And I don't think they need to do that. I don't think they need to come out and make statements and shit. I think that was fucking horrible and gross. But again, entertainment industry is a bit fake and flaky. For you to think these guys are your real friends, it's not, I mean, these guys are only friends with young Philly anyway because he was popular, you know? Let's be honest too. They weren't friends with him because they liked him personally and they think he was funny. They're only friends because he was clouded up, he made a lot of money, and he was obviously super successful at that particular time. So I think they were well within their rights to try and protect their career by, you know, distancing themselves from him, but maybe not saying it so vocally. But I wonder how young Philly feels now that he's not guilty and you're going to try and rebuild your career. I wonder how comfortable he would be to have young Philly as a fan, because young Philly, I mean, sorry, Chyche, because he's got his own issues too. But, you know, big up Chyche for holding him down though. That's quite admirable of him. Although he, again, you know, he's, you know, somebody that routinely people try and routinely cancel him. It still says a lot about him too, that he would be somebody to step up and kind of defend him, which he was quite loud about, to be fair, during the time it was happening. He was very loud about young Philly not doing it, even when it looked like at the time he did do it and he was going to be guilty. He was very loud and vocal about not believing the claims, calling the alleged victim a liar and blah 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 blah. So this is Chyche getting emotional after calling young Philly.
I literally called Philly this morning. I was like, congratulations, bro. I knew it all along. You know, I actually paid for Philly's lawyers. A lot of you don't know this. His friends left him. Chunks left him. The Sidemen left him. Everyone left Philly for nothing. Are you good friends? Chunks, are you a good friend to Philly? No, you're not. No, you're not, because you dropped him for brand deals. You dropped your brother for brand deals. Did I? Nah. I missed out on all sponsorships that I could have gotten because I defended Philly's honor.
Did you miss out on a sponsorship because you're defending Philly, or you missed out on a sponsorship because you're Chyche talking? Let's be real. Did you lose a sponsor? I mean, it's like, come on, man. I don't know if I buy that. I don't know if I buy him losing sponsorships for defending young Philly, or for losing those sponsorships because, you know, he generally is somebody a lot of people don't really like and maybe does things online that people kind of have issues with. I don't know. Either way, big up him still. Another clip of him calling out Chunks and him kind of, I think the same clip, but let me play anyway.
His friends left him. Chunks left him. The Sidemen left him. Everyone left Philly for nothing. Are you good friends? Chunks, are you a good friend to Philly? No, you're not. No, you're not, because you dropped him for brand deals. You dropped your brother for brand deals. Did I? Nah. I missed out on all sponsorships that I could have gotten because I defended Philly's honor. So now, fuck you, Chunks.
To play devil's advocate a little bit, a lot of people say this whole, like, credit to Chyche not being one of the type of guys, but it is quite difficult for a lot of people who are faced with the decision of like, what do you do with the brand deals in jeopardy? Because those brand deals are big money. Young Philly had sponsorships for what? He was dropped by what? McDonald's, the FA, like, was it like JD Sports? Those opportunities and those partnerships, those endorsements, they must make these guys. And again, the UK is not really, it's not like America. The UK is not America when it comes to paying influencers well for like their work or their name or their value. But those brand deals, they make, you know what I mean? They make bucks. Being sponsored by JD Sports in the UK is a big fucking deal. You're in adverts, you're on the channel that they got on YouTube doing those fucking shows and skits and stuff. You're on, you know what I mean? Like, it's a big deal. Being sponsored by McDonald's, same sort of thing. In terms of brand activations, in-store events, advertising and stuff. Those are big money things. So it's probably a lot easier said than done to like not risk jeopardizing those things to support somebody. Especially when the allegation is that serious, you know? You probably should be, especially when you got your own family to look after, your own friends to look after, your own business, your own employees. To put that all under jeopardy, to jeopardize all of that for a friendship, is a lot easier said than done. A lot easier said than done. Obviously, the people that do it, they deserve all the credit, all the praise, well done. But I wouldn't chastise Chunks too much, because if the shoe was on the other foot and Chunks got accused of what young Philly got accused of, there's a high chance he'll do the same thing. It's highly likely he'll do the same thing. It's highly likely he would do the same thing with those kind of brand deals, you know, to his name. But, you know, I could be wrong. but I doubt it. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Another clip here of this other UK streamer called Cremo. He responds to people saying he's finished after mocking Young Philly for 2 years before his not guilty verdict. He's been, of course, trolling Young Philly since he's been accused of getting, you know, of the rape charge, which is understandable because there's content. I don't think Young Philly is going to feel two ways about it because it's a content game. But people are obviously now saying, now what? Now he's been found guilty, now what? And he then explains that part of the reason why he was also trolling Young Philly super hard was because he had a bad altercation, a bad interaction with him. So he kind of got a lot of satisfaction out of seeing him, you know, suffer. But I wouldn't read too much into it because this kid's a bit of a troll as well. So it is what it is.
I go to click the Instagram DM requests, and man are talking to me about Young Philly is not guilty. You're fucked. You're done. Your life is over. This, that. Bro, do you think Young Philly is Vladimir Putin? Do you guys think this brother is Vladimir Putin? Because he's not guilty, does that mean that my yard's gonna get nuked? Bro, shut the fuck up, bro. Please. Shut the fuck up. Everyone, shut the fuck up, bro. Do you guys think this guy is James Bond or John Wick? He's gonna be outside my yard with a fucking 9mm pistol, Desert Eagle, yeah?
Maybe, you never know.
I'm gonna wake up to his fucking chip tooth in my head. It's Fiddle's blood. Bow! My head's gone. Bro, man, this guy is a regular schmegular Colombian peanut. He is a human being, bro, that decided to get silly with his testicles. You get me? And let me say this as well. Broski, he ain't even guilty for, he ain't even thing for everything. Let me say this, yeah? Let me say this. Maybe I went a bit too far with the jokes. I'll be honest. I went a bit too far with the jokes. I do understand that. But you guys need to understand, I didn't do it for no reason. I'm not a horrible person. Like I said to you guys, I prank called him when I was younger. He messaged me some nasty things saying, you're never going to make it, blood. You're a shit content creator. This, that, this. My friends have seen him in the boxing events. He was horrible to them. So I said, fuck it. I take advantage of man. You get me?
That's fair.
I take advantage of you. I'll be honest, bro.
That's fair. That's more than fair. He had a bad interaction with the guy. That's essentially in his head, his op. His op then gets charged, you know, with an alleged rape. It looks like they've lost their entire career. I don't understand why he's dancing on the guy's grave. Prematurely, don't get me wrong. But I kind of understand why this kid was dancing on Young Philly's grave prematurely. I think Young Philly too, considering what he's been through, I don't think he's going to really sweat too much about this. It's the content game. I think he's probably just going to be happy to try and rebuild his life and get back to some semblance of normality. The thing that's going to be helpful for Young Philly though, the thing that's going to help him, since this has happened, I feel like streaming, especially in the UK, has gone leaps and bounds. So even though he won't get the same endorsements anymore, he won't get the same brand deals, I don't think personally, ever again, he'll be fine when it comes to content. He'll be fine. If he jumps back onto the streams, he'll be embraced by that whole crowd of like anti-cancel culture streamers, the anti-woke crowd, right? The Hater TikTokies, the fucking Matt, is it Matty, whatever that guy's name is, the other guy that's friends with the fucking Hater TikToki. He was embraced by all those guys. He was embraced by what's that big guy? The big one, Jim Skin will probably, I mean, he'll be embraced by all those guys. So he'll be fine in terms of making money and supporting himself. In terms of that kind of content, he'll be more than fine. I personally think he'll be more than fine. Mainstream stuff, no. You'll probably go on fucking Young Spray show, RTM, you'd imagine. You probably might go on there sometime soon. But I think you'll be fine in terms of that, because since the case, the UK streaming world has kind of blown up and has become a bit of a thing. So he's gonna be fine if he just focuses on that sort of stuff. But the days of being invited to Wembley for a brand deal sort of stuff, I think are done. I personally think so. The days of being the face of Sainsbury's, of Asda, do you know what I mean, are kind of done. The days of being on that JD Sports channel are done, personally. You know, which is sad considering that he's likely not guilty. But hey, it kind of gives the consequences when you're a bit too freaked out. When you're a little bit too freaked out. This is a clip of him allegedly on just hours before he got arrested. Actually, this is him performing in a club in Australia. And again, I don't know, like this clip looks fun. I don't like his music. I'm not really into his comedy. I'm not really into his personality, to be honest. I always find him very annoying, and the laughing, and I just found all the fucking excessive. Do you know what I mean? I just found him too much personally. But he's clearly had a fan base, clearly has an appeal, clearly had a draw. Why couldn't you just go out there, at least for the first time? 'Cause I think that was his first time, if I'm not mistaken. Why couldn't you go there for the first time and just plant some trees, sow some seeds, plant some trees, and just have a good time and then go home? Why even chop down some things? I'm not gonna lie. Why even chop down some things? Just go there, have a good time. I don't know, catch a quick wine, maybe a little fucking kiss on the dance floor. But why chop down some things in another country like that? Especially to that level, where you're like choking and biting and going down the fucking stink hole first time, allegedly, right? Yeah, allegedly he's chopping it like, it did too much, because he could have just, this could have all never happened if he just would have went straight back to the hotel and just jumped on his fucking phone. You know? Jumped on his phone in the hotel and just chilled, ordered some room service and just jammed. He could have avoided everything on that particular night.
Last question for the night. What colour are my shorts?
And they're all girls as well in the crowd. Like, imagine how you would have felt that night. Just enjoy all that love, man. You get all this reaction from the girls in Australia. Just enjoy that night and go back to your hotel, man. Oh, yeah. You could have avoided all those problems. Instead, he's tried to chop down a 19-year-old ting and fucking, you know what I mean? Get her in a fucking figure 4 leg lock and bite on her like he's fucking mankind, right? Try to bite on her and stick his fingers down her fucking throat like he's fucking mankind. And yeah, here we are. What's his name again? His real name, was it Mick Foley? The guy with the sock. Remember him with the sock? Like, looking back, that was a dumb finishing move, isn't it? Him putting his fingers in your mouth with a sock. And the sock, I think, had like a smiley face.
I'm in it now, once he turned into a power, mommy. A million promise kind of flowing, written down, mommy. I know, I need that. But I'm sorry, I can't take it for a... So it's looking like we need a separate. I'm doing wrong, so I can't do no wobbling. Last question for the...
They're singing his songs word. I don't know. Knowing what his songs sound like word for word is fucking crazy. But I don't know what's worse, KSI music or this shit. I don't know. Don't know who listens to this sort of stuff. You have to be a particular brand of person. I don't know. Probably the same person that watches JD Sports adverts or something. I don't fucking know. But yeah, his life could have been so much different if he just would have went home. But I think the same for all of us. If we just would have went home, put down that one drink, not did that other line, things would have been completely fucking different. But god damn it, young Philly. God damn it. What a big mistake. But yeah, let's see how it goes on going forward. I'm interested to see the sentencing, by the way. I'd be very curious to see what the sentencing will be like for like biting and choking somebody like that in that particular scenario. What's going to happen with the retrial? I'm really curious to see what's going to happen going forward. But in terms of, you know, those big endorsements done, but I think he'll be fine in terms of going back to streaming and shit and making content on his own, because you know I think he's got a big enough fan base. I'm pretty sure he's got a decent enough fan base that he doesn't have to rely on like corporations to have like income. But still, he's been what, 2 years and a bit without money, without making any type of income, without being able to create on social media. So unless maybe he makes money on Snapchat or something, I'm not too sure. But yeah, so let's see how it pans out for him. Let's see how it pans out. And then this is a clip that I saw that was going viral. This is a clip from a podcast called TFU Podcast. Big up TFU Podcast. TFU Podcast, a guy called Kevin Tate explains why every black man should visit Australia. So this might be the reason why young Philly couldn't resist. This might have been the reason why young Philly couldn't resist the temptation to chop down things in a foreign country, 20 plus hours away from where he lives. Even though if it was me and I was in his shoes, the first time you go there, especially a place like Australia, sow your seeds, plant your trees. You don't need to go that ham. You can catch a quick wind and shit, cool. You know what I mean? You don't need to go that far in terms of like inviting you back into your hotel. You know what I mean? Like, it's too much. The next time you come back around, you can do what you want and go a bit crazy. You know, orgies and shit if you want to, but the first time you should have chilled and just enjoy the sights and the sounds of the new country, the new place he was in, and all that love and appreciation he was getting from the fans. He didn't need to like dip his toes into the 19-year-old bag. But hey, I guess when you're out there and you see some of the snow out there, you can't but help but turn into a fucking black ice man. You can't help it.
I went to Australia and New Zealand. 35 days. I was over there, 27 shows. I did Sydney. I did Sydney, Australia. I did the Gold Coast, which is the best place for any black man on the planet. You have to visit the Gold Coast, Australia.
Hey, man, he told me that in Australia, they love the chocolate.
Oh, my God. You been to Australia?
I play basketball in Australia.
Oh, I didn't know you play ball.
Yeah, I play basketball. So I know what it is over there.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. If you black and you in Australia, you are popular.
You are yes.
Listen, I went to a club. It was called, what was that? Was it Club America?
Hey, in Adelaide,
There you go.
I'm trying to tell you.
I was in Adelaide.
Talk to me, man.
Club America.
Club America.
Let me tell you this. It was ran by the Greek mob, period. So people didn't know that. They used to take, I shot my first gun with them because they would take all the black athletes, and they was cool with the black athletes because they knew if they took the black athletes to the club, the women was gonna show up to the club. And if the women gonna show up to the club, that means the men gonna show up to the club. He been to Club America. Man. And let me tell you this. I just wanna get this out. I know what it's like to be Denzel Washington. I was him that day. And let me tell you, I'm telling you, the world, you can't tell me I wasn't Denzel in that club. 100%. So I was literally there, and they walk up to you, the girls walk up to you, can I kiss you? They grabbing my ass. They doing everything. I mean, I was harassed to such a point where I had to go outside to get air.
Men bragging about being sexually harassed because it never usually happens is crazy work, by the way.
I know what it's like to be Denzel. Now go on, tell me your experience at Club America.
Because first of all, there's Africans over there, right? So the Africans are parading like the black men, right?
I do love African Americans' experience with, or how the way they just talk about African people is really funny. I'm not gonna lie. I love how other they feel Africans. I guess they're quite different. It's like the continent Africa. Like, just because you're black doesn't mean you all have a shared lived experience. But it is quite funny how African Americans talk about African people. It is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. Like they're not one. You know, you're not us. You're not one of us. It's like, what? Like, it is really funny. There's a proper like disconnect, a proper distance. Do you know what I mean? They really see like, but I guess it makes sense because culturally and everything else, they're very, very, very different, right? Very, very different. Someone freshly from Nigeria landing in America doesn't really have much in common with some kid that grew up in Chicago, apart from the skin color, right? Really don't have much in common in terms of like how they view the world, in terms of their views on religion, relation. I mean, they're very different, but it does make me laugh sometimes when I hear African Americans talk about African people, like Africans, you know? They have a very like dismissive, othering tone about them. Almost very Nick Fuentes like.
So they got their New York hats on, right? But they're African. But when I walk in there,
they got their New York hats on, but they're African. So it doesn't really count. You know, they're trying to cosplay like they're one of us, but they're not really one of us.
And they hear my accent, they like, know that's the one, right? Now you don't have to approach Australian women over in Australia. They're gonna approach you. If you talk to the bartender and tell the bartender what you're drinking, they're gonna hear your voice. They're gonna come next to you. They're gonna grab you. All of what he's saying is absolutely true. Club America was so crazy. This was my last night because I had been all around. I've been everywhere. And this particular night, they threw a party for me at Club America. It was insane. It was insane. And I had to fly out the next morning.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And I tell people about, you know, Australia, and they just be like, I'm like, no, man, it's
serious.
A black man has to visit Australia.
Honestly, it might be worth the 2-hour, 20-hour flight. I've never really considered going there, I'm not gonna lie. I have a friend who's like obsessed with Australia and fucking New Zealand, obsessed with it. The country, the men, of course, whatever, right? But I've never been. I've never fucking been. But it would be a place, it sounds like it would be fun to kind of go. Like, I think just like, if it was up to me and I could go, I think I'd be more interested in just going to like the country, you know, and seeing the actual landscape, because the landscape and the scenery of it is fucking crazy. One bit is like a desert, another place is like a tropical jungle. There's great hikes and oceans and beach. Like, it just seems like a crazy place. The nature, all the animals and insects you can see and shit. I'd love all that stuff. And obviously, I don't think I've ever met like a dickhead Australian or New Zealand person, ever. They're everywhere around the world. You bump into them every corner of the world you go to. I think Australians are like the black version of like Nigerians, you know? You see them everywhere, you know? They're like the white Nigerians, sorry. Australians are like the white Nigerians. They're in all corners of the earth. And I don't think I've ever come across or had a negative experience with somebody that's from New Zealand, a Kiwi or an Aussie or Australia. Never. They're always incredibly nice people, especially the dudes. They're like so accommodating, so welcoming. I've not really met a lot of like Australian women, I'm not gonna lie, on my travels, but I've always bumped into Australian guys, New Zealand guys in hostels and hotels, and they're always great fun, always great banter, always a blast to hang out with. You know what I mean? So I'd love to probably go there one time just to see that side of things. I won't even care about the girls and the clubbing. You know, it is what it is, for what it is, right? But you know, you go to any world, any place in the country where there's not a lot of fucking black men, or you know, you're gonna have a good time. But I would more be interested in just the nature side of things, going to the beaches, you know, what allegedly the restaurant scene out there is really good as well. The only problem with it, I think, allegedly the cost of living is really high. So it's really expensive. It's not like a cheap place to kind of like go to, number one. And it's also not a cheap place to kind of do life day to day. It's kind of expensive, but I wouldn't mind it. I seeing like, also I'd love to go somewhere where like people don't look weird at you for like walking around barefooted. That would be quite nice too. That'd be a nice time to go to a place where no one looks at you weird if you walk around barefooted. Because I'll just see bare Australian guys, because you know there's that whole beach surfer lifestyle. People are just walking around barefooted all the time. That would be sick as well to do. That would be sick. I'd be more into going to Australia so I can walk around barefooted than chopping down some white things. That's how tapped I am. That's how weird I am. I'll be more into going to Australia to fucking walk around barefooted than I would be interested to go chop down some fucking big titted white things. So it's like, whatever, innit? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, it's not bad, don't get me wrong, but it's like, I get it. You're fucking being fetishized by some white things. It's like, don't really give a fuck. But anyway, let's move on. As we're here, and I want to take a quick little break before we continue. Let me give some memberships to people. Thank you for holding me down this entire time. I know I haven't been really consistent and really on here as much as usual. I've had some stuff going on, real life stuff I've been having to kind of battle and work with. But I'm back now, and we're going to be consistent, and we're going to be here at least for the next 5 days as again for this week. So I'm going to give some memberships from people, so you can have some memberships and obviously be able to watch some of my member-only live streams and be able to participate in some of my member-only chats. This is also going to be available to everyone to watch because I haven't been available for a while, but I'm going to give some memberships to the community, so please sit back and relax, and as these random 5 gifted memberships go out to people, and again I'll give more later on down the line. So let me give some 5 gifted memberships to people right now. Enjoy. Okay, I think there's a couple more one more to go, I think, and then we continue. One more to go, then we continue. Bada bing, bada boom. Yo, big up Don Dot and String Chat as well. Big up. Yo, big up the God Era. Big up the God Era. What are you saying there? Shit, I found that Africans have a wider perspective on the world, so they ain't on the same crabs in the bucket shit. I find more peace with them brothers from the root. Yeah. I don't know. It's just sad that we're not all just like, you know, together, brothers and sisters, because we are the same. The fucking police and the criminal justice system and the courts treat us the same, right? When we go in front of certain judges, or when we have to confront certain police officers, they don't have any, you know, distinction between, oh, you're fucking African American and you're African. They don't really. We all look the same. So it's sad that although the world treats us the same, disproportionately, negatively, we don't treat each other with the same love. we otherize ourselves. You know what I mean? I think that's really kind of disappointing, but you know, it kind of is what it is. That's another conversation for another day. And something that I'm not really equipped to talk about or really interested in talk about because, you know, it's one that just goes on and doesn't fucking end. But yeah, it's a shame, really. It's a fucking shame. It's a fucking shame. Let's continue. Let's do Palace Autumn Winter 2026. Palace actually have a new website too, by the way. Palace Autumn Winter 2026 dropped, but they also have a brand new website. They have a brand new fancy dancy website with this rotating trifeg logo. It also has like a running carousel of different features, as you see on the side here. It kind of goes through this carousel of things on the side. You see that on the left hand side there? It kind of goes through a running carousel of things. There's an option there that goes through like the Palace Detroit 313. It shows you a clip of that. Then there's something about Palace England, shows you a clip of that. So they've completely revamped the site using some of that monies they've been making over the years from the sales and the investment or whatever else, I'm assuming. Although I didn't really think the site needed a redesign. I'm not going to lie. I quite like the site. I think the site is quite plain and easy to use. I don't really necessarily think it needed this type of redesign because these sort of things normally take up a lot of data, normally take up a lot of bandwidth and kind of make your computer run a bit choppy and shit and just hard to navigate. But it is what it is. They've changed the website, but I'm more interested in the range. I'm more interested in looking at the new range. So let's actually go through it. The new Autumn Winter 2026 range. Let's go through the range. Should we go through the... No, let's go through a lookbook. Let's go through a lookbook. Let's go through the look. Could do that? No, let's go through a look. Let's go through a lookbook. Let's go through the lookbook instead of going through the range, right? Or is that the same thing? Is that not the same thing? Let's see. If we go range, what's that say there? If we go range, is that the whole thing? Is that this thing with the small images? If we see, it doesn't really let you click. It's a bit weird. This thing. Let me see. Let me scroll and let me click range. Let's see range. Range, please. Range. Okay, view range. Okay, there. Okay, let me go back and let me go through the lookbook then. I think lookbook's probably better. And then we'll go through and I'll go through each image. So off rip, that's Mattox, isn't it, right? That's Mattox. Off rip, first image, I already like it already. I have said in previous times in my reviews of the Palace lookbooks that they've been very shit lately. Palace, you know, my hate for the company and the brand to one side and the people behind it, my hate for them to one side. It's been really obvious and really evident just how terrible Palace has been over the last 2 years. It's really fallen off. With the exception of some decent collaborations here and there, I thought the Oakley was a standout. Gucci was a standout. Ralph was a standout. I didn't really like the Nike England stuff personally, if I have to be honest. I like the tracksuit. That's about it. But everything else I thought was a bit shit, especially the shoes. But the collaborations have been the saving grace. And it's also been the thing that I think has kind of given me a lot of like Palace fatigue. I feel like I see too much of their clothes. And maybe it's just me. I'm not sure you guys if you agree, but I feel like there's too much Palace stuff out there. There's too much materials with like Palace brand. Like it's almost like pollution in a way. It almost feel like they're polluting the space with way too much of what they do. And I know maybe it's too late for them to kind of rein it back because they're too big of a company. They've got stores around the world. It's a worldwide recognized brand. It's no longer the Palace that I grew up with, which was more of a PWC thing with the whole VHS tape, and the hand-screened, you know, print or the hand-printed, screen-printed, whatever t-shirts that were done inside out. You know, it's not that kind of Palace anymore. It's not that Palace anymore. It's obviously a way bigger brand. They've got a fucking HQ with offices and, you know, designers and employees and probably investors and stuff like they have to answer to. I get it, but it still is a problem that the clothes are just so terrible and inconsistent. The clothes are shit in my personal opinion lately, and the range of the collections have been really inconsistent and a bit hit and miss. Now, to give the, you know, whatever, to play the other side, I reckon this will be better as well because it's autumn winter. In general, most streetwear brands knock out of the park autumn winter. Very rarely do streetwear brands not do well for autumn winter, because in my opinion, streetwear or fashion in general is definitely for men in the winter. I think fashion is mostly for gays and women personally. I think it's hard as a straight dude to look good in fashion in the summer because you end up just wearing, you know, shorts versions of the trousers that you normally wear and short sleeve versions of the shirts you normally wear. You know, I don't think guys, straight guys in particular, myself included, have good fashion sense when it comes to stuff to wear as a guy during summer. But autumn, winter, when it comes to coats, jackets, hoodies, beanies, ooh, we're in our own fucking world. So I'm sure this is going to be way better. Autumn, winter. Off rip, first image, I love it. I love this pink jacket that they've got Mattox wearing. It's kind of like a racing inspired jacket as well. I quite like this. Even the logo, I'm not really the biggest fan of the over branding they always do. I can't really complain about it too much because we are where we are in terms of most of their fans, most of their customers are probably way younger than I am, and they love branding, they love logos, so it is what it is. But I still think this is a nice jacket regardless. I'm not mad at that, and I think there's also baggier pants there. I'm not mad at either. That's a nice jumper. It's a bit Mastermind-esque, but this Skull and Bones jumper I definitely wear. I think it's mohair. It looks kind of mohairish, right? But this Skull and Bones jumper, I would wear the fuck out of. I love that. I actually don't mind this hat as well, by the way. The hat's kind of cool. I quite like the hat too. Why does he cut his mustache like that? That's a fucking weird mustache, isn't it? He kind of looks like, who's he look like? What's that mustache? Who does that mustache? That's a weird way to cut a mustache, isn't it? Where you leave the whiskers on the edge. It's a little bit, don't know, man. It's a little bit pedo looking. I'm not gonna lie. No offense to the guy, but it's a bit pedo looking. I wouldn't like to do that myself. But I quite like the snapback. I like the snapback. I think is that Hindi or something? Is that Hindi language or something in terms of the script? I think that maybe says palace in whatever language, Indian language. I think that maybe that's really fucking cool. I don't think it needs to have a camo on it, real true camo. I think they could have made it another color or another fucking pattern. But I think that hat and that sweatshirt, or that piece of knitwear, I'm on it. I like that. Ooh, this jacket is hard. It's a very much inspired by North Face, of course, but this jacket is hard. Again, if I didn't have such a problem with the people behind Palace and I couldn't get past my hate, I'd wear the fuck out of this. But unfortunately, it has the logo on it. If I had to wear it, I had to remove the logo. But again, buying something from people that you don't like and then giving money to them is not something I'm kind of into. And also them buying it and trying to debadge it is also really lame. You're better off just not wearing it, you know? So I kind of have to, unfortunately, as much as I would like to wear this, I can't. So I just have to leave it and admire it from afar. But it is a lovely fucking jacket. The zips on the what you call it? The waterproof zips, I'm assuming, here on the front. The paneling, it's fucking gorgeous. Really well done. Hopefully it doesn't have some massive Palace logo on the back. Hopefully that's the only Palace logo it's got on it. This one on the sleeve. Hopefully there's not some big Palace on the chest or on the back, stretched across from the left to right. That's a really great thing. But one thing I have to give them credit to as well, they don't get enough credit for this. Palace make great hoods. People don't give them enough credit for it, but Palace they really design very nice hoods on their jackets. I love how the hood, the bit here comes up and covers a bit of your face, make like a bit of a mask when it's cold. I love a bit how the top kind of covers a bit of your forehead. I love how usually they've always got a bit of a drawstring in the back to kind of cinch it in a little bit. Palace know how to design hoodies or to design hoods on jackets. So that's fucking stellar. I love that. Oh, that's a good. Is that like a inspired by? There's a lot of I wonder, is it because the designer they've got in their team is big into cycling? I feel like they do a lot more cycling inspired stuff lately. Or maybe just the whole crew are into their fixies or just racing daily, you know, whatever. But I feel like they've made a lot of like bicycle, motocross inspired tops lately. They're into a lot of that, and I don't mind this as well. The font looks a little bit cheap, a little bit you know what I mean? But I quite like it, like for that reason too. I quite like the font. Looks a little bit like, you know, the kind of fonts you get free on the internet from like the fonts, but I don't mind that. Tokyo Palace hat as well isn't too shabby. Camo pants there, not too bad. Ooh, I don't mind these camo. Is it camo jeans? Or they yeah, I think they're camo jeans, isn't it? Right? Camo jeans with like the Palace written in the back in this like Times New Roman Gothic sort of like lettering done in like orange and black felt. I'm not mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all. That's really nice, man. Already, this is better than the recent Palace lookbooks I've ever reviewed on this particular pod and stream. This is probably the best one I've seen in recent years. This is really good so far. Very strong start so far. Very strong start. I love this too, by the way. You know me, I love a bit of fucking workwear. I love a bit of workwear inspired fucking clothing. I love this workwear inspired jacket that Mattox has got on here. in this like brown driver Carhartt color, right? This chocolate brown color with the security what you call it, fluorescent stripe going across here. Palace logo and another Palace logo here. Big chest pockets as well there. I don't mind that in the slightest. With this crazy logo, I don't know what that logo on the back is inspired by, but it says Palace Transport Co Limited. It's sort of like an image of like a cat drawn in like a 90s kind of like early 2000s style, right? Then you got Mattox with his kind of nappy hair there, looking the way that he does in general. Big up Mattox. Yeah, the shirt is also pretty cool as well. Very workwear, Ben Davis inspired. That shirt looks pretty decent. I'm not mad at it at all. Maybe I would have liked it paired styled with some chinos. I think the styling leaves lots of this to be desired. I'm not gonna lie. Big up the person. I feel like the styling is a bit shit. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the styling of the lookbooks from Palace is a bit terrible. I think the models in themselves, they probably swag it out a bit better. They kind of like give it a little twist. But I think the combination of items that they do is a bit shit. Like, why that red hat with that shirt and those olive green cargo pants? You know what I mean? Like, that look deserves like a pair of like standard chinos. That kind of workwear inspired thing would look way better with some chinos and maybe a different colored hat. You know, it's an easy win. I feel like the styling in Palace lookbooks is a bit left a little bit to leaves a lot to be desired, fam. Oh, this is kind of cool. I ain't mad at this. This is kind of cool. I'm not mad at this. I'd never wear it, of course, because I'm not Turkish. And I'm not a fucking raging hipster. But I think if you're from Dalston, if you live in Shoreditch, if you live around Tottenham ways, you're probably gonna like the fuck out of this. This is a really cool fucking piece. It's a red mohair sweater that has a Turkish emblem on the front. So it's basically the Turkish flag in the knitwear sweater. Very clever, very good design here. This is gonna sell out so fucking good. This is gonna sell out so well. Like, cause you know all the hipsters that love their Lamborghini, that love their fucking Beatties, that love their fucking Donnas, that love their sheesh. Like, do you know what I mean? I can see Jimskin. Jimskin loves a good chicken sheesh. He's gonna fucking love the fuck out of this, right? All those guys that love a good fucking Turkish restaurant, that love going to Mangal 1 and 2. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna be all over this. This is really fucking cool. I love that. That's really cool design. I really fucking love that. Ooh, that tracksuit is hard. The beanie's actually even harder, I think. I'm not gonna lie. I think the beanie might be harder. I think the little skull beanie might be harder. I think the skull, the Turkish flag skull beanie might be harder than the fucking knitwear top. And that tracksuit is so hard. The quarter zip tracksuit, or the anorak tracksuit thing with the stripe in the middle. Ooh, this is really very clean, very classic, but very nice. Maybe some would argue it's a very Cortez-y looking tracksuit. If you're gonna be a little bit critical, it's a little bit Cortez looking. If you're Clint, you're probably looking at it with a bit of a side eye, right? If you're Clint 419, if you're part of the Cortez design team, you're probably looking at this tracksuit and looking at them with a bit of side eye, like, I wonder who inspired you to make this. I wonder who inspired you to do this, to make this. But this is hard. I think I like this beanie, the Turkish flag beanie, better than the sweater. I'm not gonna lie, that beanie's hard. Again, would never wear it 'cause I'm not from Turkey. I'm not a fan of wearing jerseys of another team I don't support, although I love the teams. I'm also not a fan of wearing any cut. Like, that's why you never see me in anything Brazil. You're never gonna catch me in anything Brazil, no matter how good it would look on me with my name and shit on the back. It would look fucking sick, I know, but I'm not from Brazil. You're not gonna wear me watch the Brazil thing. I don't support Arsenal. You never watch me wear Arsenal top. I'm not from said Turkish team, and I mean, I'm not into that sort of stuff. But if you are into it, run amok. That's hard. Oh, I like that Betty Boop type of jumper thing, right? Palace as well. That's really nice. That pullover sweater is really nice. Although this guy generally doesn't look that great in their stuff because he's like tiny, isn't it? This kid. What he's not? I think is this a skater? His name is like Mac Powers. Is it Power something? I don't think it's Power Bottom, but he's got a name like Power something or Maxi something. I forgot his name, but he looks a bit weird and stuff because he's like really small. He's like a real compact pocket rocket, right? He's kind of built like a fucking racehorse jockey, you know, that does jujitsu. But yeah, I'm not really into that one. I like this though. Ooh, this with the Tom Brady jersey. Hee. Brady 26 with the the Tom Brady inspired jersey is kind of hard. I don't know why it has. Again, I'm not into football, so please forgive me. I don't know why this jersey is here. Why is it white and red? Did Tom Brady play for a team that used to wear these colors before? I don't know. Is 26 his number? Actually, I don't know. But I don't care. Visually, stylistically, I like it. I like it. I love it. I like it. I fucking love it. That's a great fucking jersey. He actually looks way better here. So give him something in short sleeve. This guy looks great. Give him hoodies and he looks weird because his proportions are all over the place. Like that hoodie looks so strange on him there because he's got really small like T-Rex arms in it. But he looks really good here in the jersey. He looks really cool here. He looks swagged out here in that jersey. But yeah, that jersey is hard. I don't like this. I don't like this Mattox. But again, I'm not really... I have a very hate relationship with like bomber jacket hoodies. I'm not going to lie. I hate bomber jackets with hoods on them. It's one of my pet peeves that I fucking hate. I hate that hat as well. Is that kind of like Ed Hardy inspired or something? I don't know. That hat looks horrendous. That hat looks horrible. I hate the whole fit. Again, the styling in Palace is just terrible. The lookbooks, like that is a horrendous look. That looks like some TK Maxx fit. I'm not gonna lie. That's a very TK Maxx fit. If you know, you know. Very TK Maxx code. Not for me in the slightest. Again, hate that. The beanie ain't too shabby, but I hate this panel hoodie. Hate how it looks on Mattox. Maybe it's just styling on him. I don't like that. Oh, I'd wear the fuck out. This is me all over. If you know me in real life, you know how much I wear camo. You know how much I love olive green. I would absolutely destroy. Like wear this with a pair of fucking big bubble neon 95s. Wear this particular fit with a pair of big bubble neon 95s, or if you're gonna take a little styling hit from if you're gonna take a little styling inspiration from this, maybe wear this fit with a pair of linen Air Force Ones that Kif pulled out recently. Remember those linen Air Force One Kif made? A pair of linen Air Force Ones from Kif, or a pair of big bubble neon 95s with this. Crazy. I could probably wear this because I could probably debadge this and wear this, you know, because you don't need to debadge that bit there. Just take off the Palace logo there. That's hard. This fleece is fucking hard. This fleece with the fucking security fluorescent stripe down the horizontal there, the chest pockets, the Velcro patch here, you can stick little labels and logos and stickers and badges. This digi camo thing is hard. The orange pull, but what you call it? Pull strings here, Velcro, the car. Oh, I'd wear the fuck out of that look. That's actually a look that I'd actually be tempted to buy. That is so good. I don't like that's like a Juve inspired snapback, right? I'm not really a big fan of that. But I do like the whole other bit there. There's also another, I think that probably matches the cargo pants, green olive, not too bad at that. Love You Too, I don't like that too. I don't like that at all. I don't like these shorts one bit. Again, just, there's some odd stuff they got in their collection. Like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this like mobile phone number inspired? Like, what is that? Just shit. Not for me. Oh, that varsity jacket's hard. That varsity jacket's hard. This styling is not too bad. I don't mind this like snow. What's that? Tiger? Is it tiger camo? In the white and grey with the button-up shirt, worn with this fucking varsity jacket and the new era hat. That's actually kind of nice. It's almost kind of like ALD inspired, you know? This look is kind of giving me a Million d'Or, you know? It's kind of giving me a Million d'Or, but I don't mind that. The back of the back. Yeah, this might be their hardest collection so far. This might be their hardest collection so far. I'm not gonna lie. This might be Palace's hardest collection so far. This is really good. Palace XOXO with the Betty Boop on the back there with the kisses. What's that? Walk My Way. I thought that's gonna say walk me to my truck. I thought I was gonna say walk me to my fucking truck. But yeah, this is actually kind of hard. That varsity jacket is kind of fucking hard. And it's like, what? It's all felt, right? Yeah, that's kind of fucking hard. Ooh, yeah, not really fan of that neon logo hoodie. Don't care for that. Don't care for that polo. I'm not gonna lie. Was that PlayStation inspired or something? Don't care for that. I don't care for the hat either. The tiger stripe type thing. I don't care for. The jeans also look horrible. Maybe, you know, it doesn't help that this guy's probably like a size 29 or 30. So it makes all the jeans look crazy, but I don't like that. Oh, that's a nice top, actually. That's a really nice top. That's a really nice, easy to wear top that's going to be very versatile in your wardrobe. The shorts are horrific. The pink cheetah print shorts with the digital numbers are horrifically bad. But that top here, this long this long sleeve t-shirt or this long sleeve top with the white stripes with black borders and red. That's really nice. That's a really nice top, actually. I really like that. Hate that again. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, some of the stuff that they make. What is this? What is this jersey? What is this cat? Like, what is this? Yuck. Oh, that's a hard hoodie. That's a hard tracksuit. Again, very, very Cortez inspired. Very Cortez inspired. This fucking this shit reminds me. Maybe I'm being a big back right now. This tracksuit reminds me of the fucking mac and cheese kale lasagna thing that you get in fucking Pret. You know what I'm talking about? The thing you get in a little box. This tracksuit, maybe I'm being a big back, but this tracksuit reminds me of that kale mac and cheese thing you get from fucking Pret. This reminds me of that kale mac and cheese thing you get from Pret. I don't know why it does, but it kind of does. I don't know why it does, but it does. But it's really nice though. The hooded top is really fucking cool too. I love the piping, but again, if you're Cortez, you're gonna be kind of pissed off. Zips on the. I love how everyone's doing this, by the way. Credit to everybody. Credit to everybody out there that's making tracksuit bottoms, tracksuit pants with zips on the pockets. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody out there. Thank you to everybody out there. Thank you to everybody out there that's making tracksuit pants with zips on the pockets. Thank you. I appreciate you all greatly. I appreciate you all greatly. Thank you for making tracksuit pants that have zips on the pockets. Honestly, it's so crucial. It's so necessary. Thank you. I love this jersey actually, or this sweater jumper thing. Again, is it Napoli inspired? Is it Juventus inspired? What's another team? There's another team in Serie A that's got like yellow and black and pink in it. I've got a name. I think that really small striker used to play for them, and he's like short, dark hair. He was a captain. I think so. I forgot the team, but it reminds me of one of those hipster Serie A teams that people that pretend they like football watch. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't like the camo shorts with the digital mobile number things on them. I don't like the top either, but I don't mind the hat. I don't mind this camo because I think that's what it is, right? Or maybe is that Kisses or something. But wherever this hat is there, I don't mind that. That pink hat there with the pink strap, the pink fucking back strap here. I don't mind what that looks like there. I don't know what hat that is, but that looks pretty cool. The cat tee again. Look how bad this is, bro. Is it? Oh no, I think is it Vecina? I think there's the Serie A team. I think it's called Vecina or Venezia or one of those teams. I think that's what it's inspired by. But look at this cat tee. Like, honestly, some of the stuff that how does this stuff pass quality assurance or something, or quality control? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this cat tee? Something that you'd buy from a fucking tourist shop somewhere. It's so bad. Hate that. The scarf ain't too shabby though. Oh, there's also a Scotland flag knit hat as well. That's pretty cool. The camo polo thing, not really for me. Oh, this jacket is hard, man. Oh, this jacket is super hard with the camo paneling and the black bits as well, with the neon, with the yellow fucking zips popping off and the yellow pull strings detail too. Oh, and look at the little blue hit underneath there. That's a crazy bit of pop of color there. It's black and camo paneling, and it's got this nice, crisp, like, what do you call it? What's the fucking call? Is it ultramarine? Whatever that kind of version of blue is that I love. Oh, that's a nice little detail there. I'm not mad at that at all. Zip up camo top. Not for me personally. The tracksuit goes hard here. That tracksuit goes fucking hard. That tracksuit goes hard. That yellow, this pink and black one is really nice. This pink and black one again, inspired by that team, goes fucking hard as fuck. Really fucking nice. I really like that. That is really fucking cool. A fish sort of thing, cool. Blah, blah, blah. Not for me. Oh, that is really nice. That is really fucking, again, another top I'd be tempted to buy if I didn't hate Palace so much. That is beautiful. Is it Betty Boop? Is that her name? I forgot what the character's name is, but I think it's a Betty Boop character. Giving the character like gold hoop earrings, like one of those, those girls back in the day, those hipster girls that used to wear like Moschino earrings and shit. So making her look like that with like a palace top on, that's fucking cool. And it's in pink. That's really nice. That button-up t-shirt is fucking beautiful. Very fucking nice. I don't like how it's styled, but that's really nice. Again, don't care. Oh yeah, it's the same character again. The beanie, really cool as well with the eyes there. Hate the shorts. Hate the top. I don't mind this. Like, oh, this is really nice. This is really fucking nice. I don't mind that. It's almost. Is it like a police t-shirt, right? Is it like police inspired? CIA, FBI inspired merch. NYC Palace with a telephone number there. That's actually kind of cool. I really like that. I don't mind it. Very simple, but really cool. And then same again, the jersey. More varsity jackets there. Oh, that flannel there is pretty nice. Don't hate that. Okay, that Averex. Now we're talking. That Averex. God damn, that Averex is hard as fuck. I think this is inspired by... I remember there was a guy in church, because when I wanted to go to church, there was this group of elders in my church that were like, you know, trappers and stuff, clearly. And they used to turn to church in like Range Rovers before we knew what they were. They turn up to church in like on super bikes. And they'd be wearing Averex jackets with like 95s and like button-up shirts. They were always swagged out. And I remember them wearing a jacket like this. So I think this is inspired by like an archive piece. I'm pretty sure there's like an OG version that's very similar. But this is so nice. The piping, the shape of it. You can tell the leather quality is crazy. Look how stiff it is on him as well. Oh, that Averex jacket is fucking hard. It's probably gonna be bucks as well, but that's maybe one of the best jackets I've seen them ever make in a long time. That's really fucking cool. Yeah, that is superb. But yeah, really nice stuff, man. Really nice stuff from Palace. Maybe their best stuff I've seen them do in a long time. Best stuff I've seen them make in a long fucking time. Let's go see the full range actually. Can I see the full range? Can I see the full fucking range? Actually, let's get the lookbooks there. Where's the range? Where's the range? Lookbook. Is there a range? Information. Okay, maybe it's here, right? Let me see. I want to see the full range. Let's see the full range. I can see some closer look at the items. Yep, this jacket obviously stands out. Gore-Tex free remix jacket. This jacket obviously I'd wear the fuck out of it. Also this Polar Tech Force jacket with the matching cargo pants is crazy hard. What else did I like? I like this flannel. I think this surplus flannel shirt in red is fucking hard. Obviously I like that tracksuit, right? The Palazzo shell jacket and the full tracksuit is fucking hard as hell. The Turkish knitwear thing, the too hairy flag knit in that Turkey flag thing is pretty fucking cool. These cargo pants, right? These big ripstop jogger, what are they called? Is that the one that he's wearing? Is that the one? Is that the one? No, that's not the one. I'm talking about the other ones. Where's the other ones I wanted? Or that I like, not wanted, because I'm not going to buy that ever. But yeah, this shirt is also pretty cool. This Betty Boop shirt, the chill shirt in pink. Absolutely smashing. It comes in blue too. But obviously the standout color is definitely the pink. The pink one's definitely the standout. Yeah, these pants. These ripstop cargo trousers in snow camo. Harder than fuck. And I think they also come in that olive green. And they also come in black. But oh, they're so good. So fucking good. Hoodies and stuff, I didn't really care too much for the hoodies. The long sleeve top, obviously this one here, this duo striped shirt, I think is a standout. It also comes in black and blue. That's one that I'll definitely recommend you check out. By the way, I hate the website. How someone needs to redo the website. I hate how when you're down and you click something and you go back, it knocks you back up to the top again. It'd be better if you just left you where you were previously, but hey, small things. I absolutely hated and despised these shorts. This Palace Love You short. Not sure if it's inspired by the Digital School song, but I fucking hate that. I hate also this t-shirt. This cat face t-shirt is fucking horrendous. But I also loved this, Highway Heaven jersey. Fucking flames. Does it come in different colors? Yeah, it comes in black as well. That Highway Flame jersey is fucking hard. I love the fucking... what's that? The shop numbers t-shirt. Okay, does it have London as well? Or is it just different? Let's see. Soul, Oh yeah, there's London too. London comes in grey. The New York one comes in navy, and I guess it's to kind of correlate to maybe what they wear in the country as well. Whoever it's inspired by, workwear, police officers, firefighters, whatever. The Tokyo one's white with red letters, and the NYC one I think is navy with black, right? What's this one, by the way? This is a cool t-shirt too, isn't it? It's called Transport. I didn't mind that either. And then the last thing I want to talk about is maybe some of the hats. The hats one, blah blah blah. Oh, there's a pair of loafers coming out too. Is that a collaboration or is it just made themselves? Loafer seated. Okay, cool. Shit, they're making their own in-house loafers. No collaboration. Made from the ground up. No collaboration with churches. No collaboration with GH Bass. Nothing. Just their own loafers. Fuck. Oh, that backpack is hard. That backpack is crazy nice. 3M Cordura backpack. What other colors does it come in? It comes in black. That camo color, which is obviously a standout. There's also a duffel bag as well. Very, very good looking. There's also a dispatch shoulder bag that would make for a good DJ bag. Is there a nice yeah? There's a nice Realtree run bag as well. That's really nice. Is there a side bag? Yeah, there's a crossbody utility one that's good for festivals and storing your baggies. There's a shot bag as well. That's funny, right? Shot bag for a shot or stuff, which is fucking hilarious. And also a zip wallet, which I'm not too mad at. And then the other thing I want to talk about lastly is that's it, right? Yeah, I think there's also some skate decks here I don't really care about, too tough, but yeah, big up them, man. Strong collection. Maybe the best I've seen for them in recent years. Maybe the best I've seen from Palace in recent years. Very, very, very strong collection indeed. Very, very strong collection indeed. So big up Palace, man. Big up Palace for doing the damn thing. Big up Palace for doing the damn thing. Very, very strong collection. Okie dokie. Moving on. Let's talk about Yeezy. Big up Ye. Big up my guy Ye. Big up my blood clot guy Ye. Ye announced some new Yeezy season shoes coming very soon. Ye announced some new Yeezy season shoes coming soon, which I'm really hyped for. He's been modeling a bunch of them, obviously, in the last few days, weeks and stuff. We've seen him around town wearing some really nice boots. Obviously, a lot of them have been inspired by actual vintage army boots and stuff. He's really into them. He loves a good army boot, especially stuff from like Central Europe, Eastern Europe type of stuff, you know, from like the 70s, 80s and shit, like really fucking rugged, crazy silhouette looking boots. The stuff they don't really make nowadays because the kind of style and trends have kind of changed. But he really does a good job of like wear testing the original and then making his little edits on the stuff that he makes with Yeezy. So maybe removing some paneling, removing some linings, removing the laces, thickening up the sole, making them lighter. I really do like what he does. He kind of does similar to Demna. Demna's inspired by a lot of that sort of stuff as well when it comes to footwear, in terms of like military boots and whatever. And I love how he kind of takes those boots as inspiration and kind of works, you know, to edit them and make his own version that are maybe a little bit more modern and maybe fitting a lot to what we wear nowadays. So maybe they look really heavy, but they're really light, you know? Maybe they've got really thick looking leather, but they're actually made of soft, supple, different types of material and stuff. I really do like that. So big up Ye. The first thing he kind of showed though were a pair of new sneakers. The first thing he shared were a pair of new Yeezy sneakers that look almost like they're inspired by Wave Runners. It's almost like a continuation and evolution on the Wave Runner. And I personally think they look really cool. I know a lot of people have been saying that they look like shoes that you'd find in Lidl, but I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I don't have swag. But I've been to Lidl sometimes and I've seen some shoes in Lidl that I'd wear. No cap. I've been to Lidl sometimes. I've seen some of their in-store shoes that they make in brand, you know, when they've got a special kind of like launch going on. Maybe some workwear launch, maybe it's some outdoor thing, some summer range. And I've seen some boots, I've seen some shoes, I've seen some flip-flops, I've seen some stuff in there that I would actually wear. I just never got, you know what I mean? I kind of never pulled the trigger when it's because the stuff that Lidl does when it's like got those promos, you usually should grab it when you see it. If you wait a day, if you're not too sure and you come back, usually that promo is gone, right? When they have like a special like Spanish food day, a Spanish food thing, Italian delicacy thing, I mean, some German, like buy it when you can because usually when you come back, it's not there anymore. So I don't know. I've seen some stuff from Lidl stuff that I'd wear, so I don't mind these. And I also think people's impression of this are very skewed because they're all black. And for some reason, I've noticed, especially on sneaker Twitter, because I'm such a big fan of all black shoes, because I love wearing all black shoes. Like there was a time where I just like for a whole summer or for a whole year, and maybe I'll put a picture of it up later. My whole rotation that I was wearing that particular year was black. If you know me, you know. Like there was an entire time where I was just wearing black on black shoes. I had like half cabs, I had like skate highs, I had Van slip-ons, I had fucking Chuckers, I had Adidas Superstars, I think, I had Air Force Ones, Air Maxes. All I was wearing was fucking all black shoes, and I loved it. So I know a lot of people don't like all black shoes, so I think a lot of people's impressions of these are skewed because they're all black. Once the panels have been made to look like regular sneakers, once you see like a white pair with like a regular kind of like athletic running kind of colorway inspired, like imagine like what an Asics looks like, people are gonna like these way more. I bet you. Once you see like a non-black version colorway of this, people are gonna like these way more. But people are hating on these now because they don't look like, you know, what people want to see. But I personally like the silhouette. I like the paneling. I like the shape. I'm maybe not if I'm had a little bit of criticism, I'd say the thing I don't maybe like the most is maybe the sole. I don't like this little kick here in the middle. I kind of like my soles to be a bit flatter. If I'd be a little bit critical, I kind of wouldn't probably. I think the arch is a bit too obvious and accentuated. I'd probably like that to be a little bit more flatter on the sides. But then that would make it look more like a wave runner, you know, or what was that? Yeezy 700, whatever. You know, that obviously classic legendary shoe that definitely belongs in the Hall of Fame. But I quite like it. I quite like that. That's the initial shoe that everyone kind of saw, and obviously you got more angles of it here, like looking in terms of a horizontal way again. Loads of mesh on the upper. Looks like that could be. I'm not too sure what that material is on the back here on the heel tab. I'm not sure what that material is on the back here. It's almost like a grid-like material. There's what looks like might be suede or nubuck at the front here, which I like because these are the bits that you're going to be encountering or scuffing and beating around, and these are going to get all discolored and scuffed. And although it's kind of all black, let's say like an Antarctic color, right? I love that when you apply black to different materials, you get different sort of like shades. And then obviously once you wear them, you get different sort of wear, different sort of distressing. So although you got an all black shoe, you end up with different types of colors on the panels. I like that. So I think over time these will look really good because you'll get different discoloration on like the front bits here when they're exposed to the sun, when you kick it around, when you put the fucking shoes and clips on your bicycle, when you stack it on the stairs, when you kick a fucking slows down the street for not giving you some soppy toppy. You know what I mean? All this type of stuff are included there. So I quite like that. And obviously this is what they look like on feet, which I also like, by the way. This is what they look like on feet. Which they look 10 times better on the foot. I'm not gonna lie. For those of you guys that didn't like them in the hand, they do look 10 times better on foot. Let's be real. For those of you that didn't like them on hand, I think they look 10 times better on foot. They look 10 times better on foot. So yeah, I like what they look like. And then we had some other previews of some boots too. We got these boots here, which allegedly are meant to be new season boots here. They're like black, almost like stormtrooper police officer type boots there, like inspired by German police officers maybe. There's also a brown pair, which are really nice too. They're kind of like, look, what's that? Like, there's that 1920 eyelets or something, which is funny because sometimes Ye hates laces, but other times he adds laces just as a stylistic effect, I'm assuming. And there's also another pair here that's more of a, I would say, climbing inspired, maybe mountain wear inspired. I think this pair here in black looks a lot more like a mountain climbing boot type of thing. But yeah, I like what I see so far. These are all new Yeezy season shoes that are meant to be coming out soon. And the other thing that's also really cool, is that if I'm not mistaken, Yeezy signed a deal with, who is it? Is it JD Sports? If I'm not mistaken, is it JD Sports? Is it JD Sports? I think so, right? Is it JD Sports? I think there's another announcement was that Ye signed a deal with JD. Yeah, JD Sports. Ye slides are available in JD Sports and Finish Line starting next month. So from August 13th, you're going to be able to purchase a lot of like Yeezy stuff in JD Sports and Finish Line in America only, by the way. Hopefully it happens in the UK, but I'm assuming because of his whole anti-Semitism shit and people not forgiving him yet for it here in the UK, it's unlikely. But hopefully that happens, because if that happens, you're going to see a lot more people wearing Yeezy stuff because it's going to be easy to get a hold of. Because even myself, being an ardent fan of Yeezys, right? Being an ardent fan of fucking Ye and Yeezys, it's really hard to get a hold of stuff. And the Yeezy fucking subreddit is full of people waiting super long to get a hold of things. So I've been really holding back on buying anything Yeezy because of the wait times. Even though I probably should buy the boots to take to my fucking trip with me, right? I should really be buying these boots here and maybe some of these glasses because I fucking wear the fuck out of this in my trip. But I've been scared to kind of pull the trigger on the SL03s because the wait times have been so fucking crazy. Some people order them and they get them the next week. Some people order them, they get them within the week. Some people order them and they don't get them for fucking ever. You know? So it's really fucking annoying. So if Ye does it, if Ye is able to sign a deal with, I don't know, with some of these distribution, with some of these shops and stuff, like fucking JD Sports and stuff, it'll be really fucking good because then it'll allow people to actually buy the stuff in hand quickly and be able to ship. I mean, but I don't know. Let's see how it kind of goes on. Let's see how it kind of goes on. But big up Ye. I'm liking what I've seen so far. I'm liking what I've seen so freaking far. Okie dokie. Talking about liking what I've seen so far. I also wanted to mention there's a clip here if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. There's a clip here I saw of Ye in fucking Ibiza. Ye in Ibiza with Bianca Censori living it up, having a fucking blast. Big up fucking Ye. Let's see if I can find it. Maybe I need to go on another tab. Or maybe just let's just do this. It's Reese history. Maybe I should go on another tab. But Ye was in fucking Ibiza. He went to Circoloco. He went to DC10 with Bianca Censori and her friends. And look at that, a fucking blast, man. I love seeing Ye in the clubs because, you know, Ye's a consummate artist. He's always inspired by things that he's doing and his life that he's living. So you know for sure, next project we get from him, he's definitely going to have some obvious club tracks there. You know it. You know it, I know it. There's going to be some obvious club tracks because he's been inspired from being out there in fucking Ibiza with his wife, having a fucking great time. Let me show you. Obviously, he was in Spain recently for his show, but he's also been out there in Ibiza having a fucking blast. And I love some of the clips I've been seeing of Ye out there in Ibiza going to DC10 and shit. It's been fucking great to fucking see. So this is courtesy of X, obviously, random clips of them out and about. You see some clips here, some pictures or screen grabs of Ye in Ibiza with Bianca Censori. And obviously this is the best place for Bianca to be because it's fucking Ibiza and the weather's fucking beautiful. So she wants to go completely stark as naked she can. And, you know, you're not going to look crazy, right? The one place where Bianca's never going to look out of place, you know, in wearing basically nothing is going to be Ibiza because everyone wears nothing. But I love the fact that Ye is in Ibiza wearing like all black with like big army boots. I'm not going to lie. I love that Ye never changes. He's got his hood up, jacket on, wearing big boots on the fucking beach. No sandals. Okay. More pictures of them out there in Ibiza. Ye and his wife Bianca are loving it in Ibiza. Bianca Censori wearing a crazy outfit, by the way. Whee! Absolutely fire alert outfit. Absolute fire alert outfit there. Bianca and Ye rocking up, walking down the street in Ibiza, looking fucking cool. Again, I think one of the coolest looking couples out there, in my personal opinion. I think one of the coolest looking couples out there, in my humble opinion. Bianca Censori and Ye outside in Ibiza doing what they do best. People taking pictures of them and let's check these. I don't think I can handle it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I have the fucking self-confidence. I don't think I have it what it takes to have someone that looks like that next to me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I have what it takes to have somebody that looks like that next to me. I don't think I'll have it. Because it's obviously different for Ye. He's not like a regular guy, but I don't think I can handle the attention. Because it's just impossible for you not to look at her. I mean, it's impossible not for you to look at her. It's impossible not for you to like oogle or to ogle, right? It's impossible not to ogle like Bianca Censori. I don't think I have what it takes. I don't have what it takes, man. Ye's built different. Ye and his wife Bianca Censori together in Ibiza. Oh, look at the boots, man. Again, you know, this kind of proves how much of, you know, of a FAG I am, right? How much of a stragger I am. You see Bianca Censori there looking fucking beautiful and gorgeous, and the thing I want to zoom into the most are the boots that Ye's got on. Fuck Bianca Censori looking sexy and shit. I want to zoom into the boots. Look at the boots. Look at the new season Yeezy boots. Look at these brown. Like, they look so gorgeous. I'd wear the fuck out of these. These are so nice. God damn it, they're so good. That's a good fucking boot. And look at the glasses too. I think they're the glasses already on the site available right now. But yeah, so fucking hard. And Ye's looking amazing, by the way. This is the best Ye's ever looked. He's definitely lost a bunch of weight. He looks a lot more clear-minded. He sounds clear-minded too. I think there's a clip going around of him talking to some guy on stage over the phone. He sounds really good. He sounds in good spirit. He sounds very healthy. But yeah, Ye looks fucking sensational. Censori obviously looks great as well. Ye enjoying the beach club. By the way, he linked up with the founder of Circoloco. That's the guy that founded Circoloco. Oh, he's got a Circoloco tattoo as well on his arm. Fucking nuts there. He's a fucking legend in the game. So they're out there doing their thing. People spotted some merch ideas that maybe they might be working on together. Ye in the club in DC10 in Ibiza. Fucking love this, by the way. I don't know who was DJing. Maybe I can see it in the video. Let me click the video. Black coffee? I can't wait until this is me, man. I can't wait until I'm this level. I can't wait until this is me. I can't wait until I'm out here doing exactly the same thing. I can't wait until I'm this level. Out here in the clubs, behind the booths, in Ibiza, getting fucking shots, spinning some of the best fucking deep house and tech house and shit you've ever heard. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot fucking wait. Having the fucking artist dinner with the Circoloco guy and his team. Oh, I can't wait until that's me. But yeah, I don't know who's playing here, but you can see Bianca, Censori, and Ye in the booth, nodding their heads, having a good time. Ye's obviously aura-faring and not being super crazy, but still, it looks fucking incredibly cool.
If you search, you will find.
There's Ye there. There's Bianca Censori in front of him. Is that Nina Kravitz? I don't know who's playing. Is that Nina Kravitz? Maybe that's Nina Kravitz, right? Is that Nina Kravitz? People in the stream chat who know more, who can identify. Is that Nina Kravitz there? Maybe that's Nina Kravitz. Maybe I recognize the Bob. She couldn't play in the UK now. I think there's a UK festival that she kind of had to cancel. I think it's Junction 2. Yeah, she had to cancel Junction 2. She couldn't get a visa, innit? I wonder if they denied her a visa because of her love for Putin and shit. Nina Kravitz couldn't come to Junction, I'm pretty sure, because of visa issue. I wonder if they denied her visa because of the Putin shit that she's always on. Yeah, I think that's Nina Kravitz. Yeah, I think that's Nina Kravitz. I'm pretty sure that's Nina Kravitz. Nina Kravitz with Ye in the booth having a blast.
Gotta testify.
And took off the sound. Ye in DC10. Imagine being in the Ibiza and seeing Ye. That must have been so fucking hard.
You feel like you never felt before. Does that thing to you that makes you feel brand new? When you walk up to the DJ and say, yo, what you doing here?
Fucking hell. Fair play to them. And then there's obviously another clip of Ye in the fucking booth. Another clip of Ye in the booth having a blast. Clearly. Zero expressions, but he's nodding his head at least. Honestly, I can't wait to see Ye. I want to hear what Ye has to. I want to hear Ye take this. I want to hear Ye take this sound and push it back out again. I want to hear it. I want to hear Ye take this sound and fucking push it back out again. Please, for the love of God. Please give us your interpretation of tech house. Like, it'll sound so fucking sick. Oh, oh. Honestly, I'm so happy. Ye spotted at the beach club in Ibiza wearing Yeezy SG03, Yeezy HD03, and Audemars Piguet. Yeah, that's super hard. I'm not gonna lie. Having an outfit that costs like £80 or $100 and then having a fucking $100,000 watch is kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie. Having like because I think the clothes aren't that expensive. They're like $20 plus each, right? But then the watch is like 100,000, 200,000. Like fucking great. I love that. I love that fucking contrast. More Ye in the club. Ye walking through. Then we're in Ibiza. That's Prosper, right? That's Prosper. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Prosper. Also, he was there with Prosper too. So Prosper was DJing, and Ye was in the booth, and also I guess Nina Kravitz was DJing too in the booth. Look at the drinks, look at the buckets behind the booth. Ye went crazy, innit? Ye was probably just ordering a bunch of shit. The bucket, look at the buckets of ice behind the booth, man. People were drinking. Oi.
Watching me.
Oh, so I think it's Prosper and Nina Kravitz going back to back. I think so, if I'm not mistaken. I think it looks like Prosper and Nina Kravitz going back to back, which isn't a bad combo. It's a bit, you know, it's a bit like obvious. No, not it's a bit commercial minded, I guess, normie-ish. But it's not a bad combo, man. There's Bianca and Ye having a blast. Honestly, they killed it. So yeah, big up Ye out there in Ibiza. Hopefully we see some more stuff from him around that sort of like, you know, lane in terms of music getting out there. Ye living his best life in Ibiza with some of Bianca Censori's friends and close friends and family, I'm guessing. For some reason, everyone in Bianca's crew seems to have tits for days. For some reason, everyone in Bianca Censori's crew seems to have tits for days. Yeah, everyone out there doing their bit, them looking super cool, walking to the club. And yeah, man, I like how Ye's always admiring what he's got next to him. He's always giving it that look. Like, and I'm sure these sunglasses. I'm pretty sure these sunglasses are inspired by the Pradas, isn't it? They look very similar. I'm sure these sunglasses are inspired by the Pradas. But yeah, Ye's in his known lineup era, and I wonder why. I'd love to hear it from. Hopefully, someone asks him in the interview. He's not getting lineups anymore. He's not really getting shaped. He's just letting his hair grow. I guess maybe he's getting leveling. He's getting one levels, or he's getting his hair leveled. But he's not getting lineups anymore. He's not doing lineups. He's not lining up his beard. He's just letting it kind of grow. You know, he's just letting it kind of be like rough, like clean. You know, I guess, you know, non-structured edges or something. I'd love someone to ask him like, what's the inspiration behind this? Because he's doing that quite often now. You don't really see him getting lineups anymore. So yeah, big up Ye and Bianca Censori out there in Ibiza. Out there in fucking Ibiza. You love to see it. He's with Top 5 there, another clip, right? Is that him with Top 5? They're still hanging about. That's nice to see. And more DC10 stuff as well going forward. So yeah, love to see it. Big up Ye. Big up Blood Clot Ye. Big up Blood Clot Yay. Okie dokie. Next thing I want to talk about here is some Berghain stuff. Let's do some Berghain stuff. So, Berghain shit. First thing I want to talk about regarding Berghain shit is this article in the Financial Times. There was an article about it in the Financial Times. The title of the article is How I Got into Berghain, Berlin's notoriously selective club. Courtesy of the Berghain community subreddit. So big up the person that uploaded this. Big up to the person who uploaded this. You're a fucking G. Let me get up on the screen here so you can see it. Bear me a second. I need to also close some tabs on it because I think my computer is going crazy. But yep, there we go. So yeah, this is an article courtesy of the Financial Times. And it says how I got into the most notoriously hard club. Let's hear the article. Big up the person. Will it zoom in or not? It's not going to. Okay, there we go. It zooms in. Right, it does zoom in. Okay, let's read the article. How I got into the club. Hold on, let me just. Can I zoom in like that? Yeah, let me zoom in like that. Big up. Who's the writer? The writer is Anne-Sylvaine Chassany. Free double barrel name. You know what's about to happen. Anne-Sylvaine Chassany. Let's hear what she had to do with her experience. Outlook in Germany. The first time I tried to get into Berghain, I did not put up much thought into it. It was a mild Thursday evening in summer. The queue was short. It wasn't even the club night, which is the regular club night. The marathon party that begins on Saturday night and runs all until Monday morning. At the door, the bouncer said, we will. How many? After a glance at me and my two friends visiting from France, he delivered the verdict: 9. Tut mir leader. I had joined a long list of casualties of the Berghein's notoriously selective door policy. As a Berlin resident and former correspondent, being turned away from a Berghain felt like the exclusion from an essential part of the city's culture. Housed in a former power plant in East Berlin, the club has become one of the defining symbols. Yeah, it must be kind of weird getting denied to get into Berghain when you live there. I'm not gonna lie. If I lived in Berlin and I got denied it'd break my heart. You know, it'd really break your heart. But I guess if you go there often enough, they eventually let you in and realize that you're a regular and you'll be fine after a while. But you have to go through that humiliation ritual of getting turned away from a club in your own fucking city. You know, brutal. Anyway, continuing. As a Berlin resident and former correspondent and foreign correspondent, being turned away from a Berghain felt like an exclusion from an essential part of the city's culture. Housed in a former power plant in East Berlin, the club has become one of the defining symbols of the city's post-war hedonistic identity. Born out of the gay club scene in the 1990s, it helped turn Berlin into a magnet for the techno-loving partygoers and DJs. Nightlife has been an economic engine for Berlin. Berlin and a political center that lacks the corporate heft of Paris or London. In 2019, Trade Association Club Commission estimated that clubs generated about 1.3 billion a year for the local economy. Is that Berlin clubs or is that all German clubs? 'Cause that's a crazy number. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, I think that's nightlife, right? That's Berlin only. Berlin nightclubs generate 1.5 billion euros for the local economy. That's why, although a lot of people complain about clubs closing and shit, they're never really going to crack down and close clubs the way they do in London. Because there's just too much money that it makes for that local economy. They're never going to do that. Yes, some clubs will still close. You still have closures like every place gets. There'll still be issues with gentrification. But I think by and large, club culture and the clubbing landscape in Berlin is pretty much... It's pretty much, you know, impervious to any type of regulation or any type of like pullback and, you know what I mean, silencing and whatever, deplatform, whatever. It's not going to happen. It just makes too much money. 1.5 billion a year is fucking crazy from just clubs. But since COVID, high rents and declining attendance have put pressure on the industry. Clubs at Watergate have closed down. But yeah, Watergate also closed because it was a shit club. And it got up to some nonsense as well in the background, wasn't treating people well. You know what I mean? There was a lot of stuff going on in Watergate. And also, I don't think they adapted quick enough to like the changing, you know, climate of clubs and the changing maybe desires of like lineups and parties. They just didn't catch it. In my opinion, they weren't. You know what I mean, they weren't with it. So I think they're just a casualty of really being unable to adapt and maybe rise to the challenge of the other clubs that are popping up at the time. But I could be wrong. Judging by the queues, Berghain has retained this allure. Its last corporate filings show that the net profit fell 15% to 1.5 million in 2024, yet the balance sheet remained healthy. The club ended the year with 1.6 million euros in retained earnings and almost no bank debt. God damn. No debt whatsoever from fucking Berghain. Well done. No fucking debt whatsoever. I met visitors who had flown in from Shanghai, Israel, Paris. In 2002, or 2022, sorry, Elon Musk claimed he was refused to enter the club after being put off by the word peace on the building. Oh, shut up, Elon. So Elon claims that not Berghain didn't deny him. He's the one that didn't go in because he didn't like that peace symbol. So what do you prefer? You want a symbol that says war? Honestly, Elon sucks so bad. Elon nowadays sucks so fucking bad. Oh, it had a big peace sign on the front of the club. What? The club's media shy founders, Michael Tuffley and Norbert Foreman, were forced to shut their the earlier venue, Osgood, to make space for the 17,000 seat concert space. Much of Berghain's enduring appeal, I suspect, lies in the mystique of its door policy, personified by Sven Marquardt, the club's intimidating chief bouncer and main club figure. So I made plans. I studied Marquardt's autobiography, Die Nacht ist Leben, The Night is Life, a gritty account of youth as a punk gay photographer in 1980s East Germany, in which he explains how he developed a taste for assembling well-functioning party crowd. I enlisted my friend Lucy, who said she knew Berghain regular. On their advice, we aimed on Sunday morning. We researched the DJs. We debated outfits: black jeans for me, black skirt for her, and black boots for both. Then one rainy Sunday, at about 8 a.m, we headed towards the club to the soundtrack of Prague-based DJ Pink Concrete. It felt like trying to get an Algerian visa, Lucy said. Disaster struck again. A female bouncer waved us through before a more senior colleague stopped us. A brief, bewildering discussion followed before another said, "Not today, ladies." Oh, I've seen it happen to people, by the way. I've seen that happen. That's never happened to me because I've never been denied. Fingers crossed I never get denied going forward. But I've seen it happen to people. I've seen people get waved in by one bouncer, then another bouncer sees and says, "Nah." Brutal. And what makes it worse too, the one that told you yes, then has a conversation with the one that says no, and they kind of agree, like, yeah, actually you're right, they can't go in. And they said, "No, not today." That's worse. Just deny me right out. Deny me at the front. Don't tell me yes and then say no. Like, that'll break my fucking little fucking plantain heart. I swear to fucking God. We decided to try our luck again later that same day, hoping a different shit. By the way, and also that woman, I've heard people had very bad experiences with her, but I don't know. Whenever I've spoken to her, whenever I've been, let in by her, she's always been really nice. But another woman that took her, I think she's the one that's got the mohawk, if I'm not mistaken, right? She's got on short hair anyway. I think she's really tall as well. But people seem to have a real problem with her, especially in the suburb. People really don't like that woman. They would say, "Oh, when she's changing, let me know when the bouncer's shift changes." Like, people try to avoid that woman at all costs. I don't know why, but I've never really had a bad experience with her. She's always been really nice to me. But maybe I'm just lucky, I don't know. We decided to try luck again later the same day, hoping a different shift might bring a different outcome. I scrubbed off every trace of makeup, convinced my Dior lipstick had betrayed me. When we joined the queue at around 6 p.m. that day, Marquardt was there, looking formidable with his grey hair, swept back, and large tinted glasses. His nod felt absurdly like a rite of passage. I resisted the urge to thank him. Yeah, that's what you always do, especially the first time. You're so happy, you're like, you want to shake their hand, but you shouldn't. You should act like you've been there before. It's so funny. You feel so happy, you want to like shake their hand. You want to kneel and kiss the floor or something, but you don't. It's too performative, too extra. I wonder if you did that as well. Would they tell you to fuck off? Like, nah, actually. Or if you did like, "Sue," I might actually try it. Maybe I'll try that one day. Maybe one day when I get into Berghain, as soon as he says like yeah and gives me a nod and waves me in, I'll go, "Sue." Don't get me wrong, no one would know what I'm doing because everyone in Berghain is mostly gay and queer, right? No, there's no like straight guys watch football. Not a lot of us in there. So everyone's probably gonna be turned off by it, But that'd be kind of fun if you do like the fucking Drogba celebration. The Drogba fucking celebration. Knee slide. When you get told yes. Oh my God. When we joined the queue around 6 p.m. that day, Marquardt was there looking formidable, with his grey hair swept back and his large tinted glasses. His nod felt absurdly like a rite of passage. I resisted the urge to thank him. Now that I was part of the lucky few, I became a snob. Exactly. Now how quickly it goes from being one of the newbies just happy to be there, wide-eyed, and as soon as you get let in, you're fucking, you know what I mean? You're that meme of the aristocrats on the balcony looking down on the fucking peasants. Oh, how had that goofy looking tourist managed to get in? Inside, prepare for nudity, sweat, crammed dance floors. What surprised me most though was how well behaved the crowd was. We gravitated towards Panorama Bar. Yep, I love that as well. One of my favorite rooms ever, to be honest. One of my favorite rooms ever. where the music is more mainstream than the cavernous mainstream. You mean like house? Ugh, yucky description, by the way. Where it's more like imagine wanting to go to a club where it plays more mainstream music. Yuck. You mean it's more house music? It's more vocals. Like, god damn. What are you doing, Miss Anne-Sylvaine? Like you're ruining it, Anne-Sylvaine. You're ruining it. We gravitate more towards Panorama Bar. The music is more mainstream than the cavernous main hall. That night, the lineup featured Budino, a Berlin-based Italian DJ, one of the best in terms of house, and alongside Berghain resident Ben Klock, who I'm not really the biggest fan of, to be fair. We did not stumble into any dark rooms. Instead, I had a lemon sorbet. Yeah, you don't need to stumble into them. Just you don't need to go into them if you don't want to. If you don't want to be, that's the thing about Berghain. It's lost a little bit of its like. Some people criticize it for losing a bit of its like risque sexual side, right? It's not as like X-rated as it once was. Maybe some nights are, but in my experience, it's not. You know, people aren't like getting off of each other on the dance floor as they used to in the past. But if you're in the dark rooms, obviously people are going to be butting because that's what the dark rooms are for. But if you don't want to be exposed to that sort of like hedonism, that sort of kinky stuff, that sort of debauchery, just stay on the dance floor. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly normal club on the dance floor. Instead, I had a lemon sorbet at the ice cream bar, which I still have never gone to. I'm not going to lie. As somebody that's been to Berghain many times, I've never been to the ice cream bar. I'm not going to lie. I've never actually been to the ice cream bar. I've seen it, but I've never actually ordered anything from it. Never. Instead, I had a lemon sorbet served by a serene-like figure with a red braid and a Géador hardcore tattooed across their stomach. You've made it to the ranks of the cool people, Lucy's husband John declared afterward. For a moment, it felt true. So yeah, big up this person. Decent review. I also like the fact that she only dedicated like the last 2 paragraphs to actually the experience inside, and kind of left, you know, because it's an unwritten rule that you shouldn't really talk too much about the inside and what goes on. You should let people experience it for themselves and obviously adhere to the privacy and shit laws and no camera things they have going on there. And I do like that she described a lot of her feelings around it, but left only 2 paragraphs of the inside, what went down on the dance floor, but also didn't divulge too much, you know? Didn't divulge too much what happens on the inside. So big up to this lady, man. Big up Anne-Sylvaine Chassany for her really interesting review of how she went to Berghain. And in my experience, I always prefer hearing regular people who go Berghain. I'm not gonna lie. I actually prefer hearing from them and their reviews than I do hearing from hipsters or people like myself. Do you know what I mean? I much rather like to hear what they have to say, because some of those type of people have like really, you know, I'd say bad clubbing experiences, or they have like bad behaviors and practices, and they're used to bad things. So it's quite nice to see them be exposed to like the highest level of clubbing, you know, the highest level of clubbing culture in terms of how seriously people take the lineups and the programming and the lighting and the sound. Do you know what I mean? And the space and the fucking house rules. I'd like to see how they kind of interact with that sort of shit. So big up her, big up Sylvain. Next on the list, we got a bit of controversy. Next on the list, we got a bit of controversy. This is courtesy of the Berghain community subreddit. Big up them again. They open my eyes to this particular story. This is regarding Jennifer Cardini. I was exposed to her primarily through Gerd Janssen. I'm not sure if she's still signed to running back or puts out records of running back, but she's, you know, of that kind of running back sort of like sound, similar to what Gerd Janssen plays. Is one of my favorite DJs. Loads of house, loads of indie dance, loads of new disco, loads of disco. Just really nice, bubbly, bright music that makes you smile, music that makes you want to dance, makes you want to sing, makes you want to lift your hands up, makes you want to wave around, makes you just want to have a good time and have, you know what I mean, and really get down. And it's really good as well in Berlin, because, you know, Berlin, obviously most of it is also techno and industrial and dark and whatever, and a little bit gloomy. So it was always nice to kind of go to a place like Berlin and see someone like a Jen Cardini play, because it's a nice little kind of, you know, jolt from the usual black boots and moody faces. Plus as well, she, you know, behind the booth, she's always dressed in bright colors, similar to fucking, you know, Gerd Janssen, where usually wearing a fucking white button up, which is, you know, which is a bit different from people that always wear the fucking big boxy black tees, like the Rick Owens ones that I have and shit. So it's always fucking nice to see it. But according to this particular post, they're saying Jennifer Cardini is no longer a part of Berghain. So I'll try and double check the whole post itself. So let me see Jennifer Cardini. Let me go to her Instagram. I want to see the whole post myself and read it. But she made an announcement about not currently being a Berghain person going forward. I'm not too sure if that's true. Let me just double check. Is it this post here? Is this one? My last 3 years. Oh, hold on. Yeah, this is the one. So here's what she's saying. In the post, so you got a picture here of her flexing her bicep. By the way, pretty strong woman. Not gonna lie, pretty fucking strong woman. And someone's got a sign that says Jen with the love sign. So let's see what it has to say. So the last few years, my relationship to Berlin, my home for many years, has been complicated. Despite my unconditional love for the city and my beautiful friends who I miss so much, every visit has charged with sadness and grief. Oh, she doesn't even live in Berlin anymore. Okay, I wonder where she lives. The loss of Jessie, of course, the grief of the end of my 20-year relationship with my favorite dance floor ever. Raw. The last relationship. I wonder what's happened then. Is this like a boycott because a lot of people have boycotted Berghain because of their refusal to comment on the ongoing Gaza Odyssey tragedy and genocide that's going on over there, and which I understand because they went hard and sided with Ukraine with the whole that thing, and I think because of that, everyone now expects them to always make a comment, but they probably should never have made a comment when the Ukraine thing happened either. So they're caught between a rock and a hard place. And I personally think, you know, do with this as you may, I think clubs should be apolitical. I think clubs should be apolitical spaces. I don't agree with what Whore did when they were stripping DJs of their fucking political statements and t-shirts that they're wearing in protest or in support of Palestine. I think that was a bad move. But I think if you're allowed to wear a Free Gaza, Free Palestine shirt, then somebody should be able to wear an Israeli flag shirt. It's a bit crazy if they want to do that, but I think it should be perfectly fine. I think it should be, all platforms should be apolitical. Whatever political message that you want to put out there, spread, you can say it on my platform. Even it's not political at all. Even no one's allowed. Doesn't matter if you're doing fucking happy Pride Day. That's not allowed. Or everyone's allowed to say their piece on either side of the political aisle, or whatever opposite sides. You're allowed to say it. And I think the moment that you pick and choose is when you get into trouble. So I wonder what's going on with Jennifer Cardini. Is she boycotting because of that? Or is she just like, you know, changed her mind because, you know, the club isn't what it used to be? 20-year veteran, you've been, you know, you've seen and done it. After a while, you know, I'm a big believer in like mixing things up also. As much as I can't wait to go back to Berghain, I also can't wait to check out RSO. I can't wait to go to Else Club. I can't wait to go to fucking Club de Visionaire. I can't wait to go to Cato Blau. I can't wait to go to fucking Sisyphos. You know what I mean? I think it's nice to also go to other places. You don't always have to like stick. I think being obsessed, like it's like the people that are obsessed with fold and unfold. I get it, but mix up a little bit, man. Go somewhere different. You know what I mean? Mix up a little bit. Go to Palace. Go to fucking Venue MOT. Go to fucking Phonic. I don't know. Mix it up a little bit. Mix it up a little. XOYO. Like mix it up a little bit. Jesus Christ. Not every day has to be a fucking fold thing. So I think it's perfectly okay if you're actually from there. If you're a professional DJ. If you've been exposed to it. If you're a part of the music industry and you've been to fucking Berghain 20 plus times. Oh, sorry, for 20 plus years. To be bored of it and be like, you know what? I need a change. Solely based on that. Last week, something changed. I want to share how grateful I am for the love, kindness. By the way, why don't you tell us what changed? Okay, she went to the Nation of Gondwana. I need to go to that festival still. Nation of Gondwana. As I got into the booth, the floor packed with familiar faces and long-time Berlin ravers I hadn't seen in a while. Yeah, that's where all the actual OGs go, innit? But I've also heard it's just like a nice place to go to because it's just full of like, from what I've seen, even of the clips, it looks cool because there's like regular people that go. It's not just full of like, you know, like when you go to like Berghain and go to cool clubs, they're full of a lot of like young kids and a lot of like, you know, hipster kids and whatever. When you go to a place like Nation of Gondwana, people have heard people say it kind of reminds you of like Berlin of old. It kind of reminds you of like the Bar 25 era of Berlin, let's say, where you'd go to a club and there'd be like 60-year-olds, there'd be like an 18-year-old, there'd be like a banker, there'd be like an artist. I mean, everyone from all across the fucking social, fucking economical, racial, religious fucking, you know what I mean? Range, all in the club, instead of how it is now where you go to a club and you can kind of guess what everyone's into. You're all into kind of the same stuff. You all listen to kind of the same music. You all kind of have the same political leanings. It's kind of boring that way, in my personal opinion. I think it's way better when there's a real smorgasbord of people and we're all in love. We're all fucking sharing the space. We're all fucking cool with each other despite us having different political beliefs, religious beliefs, blah, 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 blah. But hey, what do I know? As I got into the booth, the floor was packed with familiar faces and long-time Berlin ravers I hadn't seen in a while. You all stuck with me through the storm, gave me a feeling of belonging I haven't felt since moved away. I really needed that. Thank you. I'm on my way to Berlin now, and I can't wait to spend CSD with you all, old friends and new. Okay. I don't think this has anything to do with Berghain. I'm not gonna lie. I think they were kind of like over. I don't think this has anything to do with Berghain. I think this has to do more with her maybe not loving Berlin raving anymore as much as it was. I don't think this has anything to do with Berghain. I think this has to do more with Berlin changing, and then being reminded of how cool Berlin is by going to National Gondwana and seeing the vibes and feeling the vibes. That's what I think. I think this has nothing to do with fucking Berghain, personally. Nothing to do with Berghain. Let's read some of the comments. On the Reddit, she's one of the greatest names in house and techno. Grey Zone, I saw her Nation and boy, she was a blast. I never forget her remix. I was told one day they simply stopped calling and she never heard from the booking team again. Hadn't many artists around 2024. There's more politics now around what music you can play, and it's also become less merit based over time. Making sure you're not stepping on anyone's toes, drawing too much crowd to your set during residents playing the other. Really? They don't want people drawing too much of a crowd if a resident's playing on the other floor. I don't think that's true. Is it true? So Jennifer Cardini got stopped. Don't get me wrong. I think Berghain, what they do really well in is the booking. So over time, if they decide to move on and try somebody different, I think that's okay. She's been booked for a long time. She's been a kind of a semi-resident for a while. I think it's good they want to. I don't think it's a bad thing to want to move in a different direction. I don't think that means that she's a bad DJ. Just they want to move in a different direction and get maybe give someone else an opportunity. You know what I mean? I think that's perfectly okay. But I'll be curious to know if that's actually true about the politics of it all. Unfortunately, I'm not a liar, but maybe DJs could be. Who knows? I don't have a reason to believe these things. I've worked in Cardini and many others artists in the same boat as well as those. I remember she played CSD in 2023. Allegedly, the reason is the same with Gideon and other artists who left Berlin, but left around that time. Connect the dots. What? I thought it's pretty known that there are a bunch of DJs boycotting Berghain since their stance with Ukraine. What's happening with Gideon? Or is that the cancellation about them doing something like counterculture, or her not admonishing her friend who did some sexual assaulting, if I'm not mistaken, right? Let's see. Yes, same as Rosa Terenzi, Eris Jew, Octa, and many others. Huh? It will all come out in various memories one day. I was also wondering the same. She meant Berghain. Love her sets. It's not obvious to everyone, even if you think there's no need to other genuine curiosity. Without expressing any opinion and merit, she played in Israel not too long ago, so it's not likely that whatever broke her in the Berlin. Really, okay, I don't think playing in Israel matters, because if that's the case, Roy Perez wouldn't play. Sorry to say, but at Robert Johnson, she was not so good. I assumed it was because of a new manager. Booker was tired of her and maybe thought she wasn't fitting the style of the club is heading. I know some DJs stopped playing at Berghain because the other clubs refused to be vocal about Israel. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I don't think this person has anything to do with Berghain. I'm not gonna lie. I think this thread is overcooked. I don't think this thread has anything to do with Berghain. I think it's just her saying maybe Berlin isn't what it once was. She just has a complicated relationship with the clubbing culture there now, but she was reminded by how great Berlin could be because of how good Nation of Gondwana was, which is a testament to them. And they left a comment here saying, your set felt like a homecoming in so many ways. Cocktail Del More left a comment. Someone called Jen F whatever, Franca Berlin said, thank you for your amazing set. It was our nation highlight. Thank you for the energy. Another Crystal Clear here said, post the arm workout stat. Did she respond? So her house London when I'm back. Fuck that. Okay, shit. Okay, she's always dreaming. That's nice. DJ Careless is there. Yeah, so Adam Port says something. So yeah, I don't think this has to do anything with Berghain. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is more so of her giving love to the Nation of Gondwana, which a lot of people say is one of the best festivals out there in terms of that real, you know what I mean, Berghain sort of Berlin experience. Look, Maria Montexier was there. Let's see what she played. What did she play out there? Hard. There's a full recording of the set as well. Already. I'm gonna check that out on his SoundCloud. Sick. Yeah, there's her playing. So who'd she play alongside? She played after Luigi Tozzi and before somebody called Mary something else there. Who else I see I recognize here? Oh, Josie Rebel played. Big up Josie Rebel from the UK stand up. Josie Rebel played. She gets great bookings, by the way. Big up Josie Rebel, man. No social media, just pure DJ. No social media, pure DJ. No first traps. No pictures, no clips of her with no bra on, bouncing up and down behind the booth with her tits jiggling all over the place. Nothing. Just pure DJ. Pure DJ. Pure fucking DJing. Big up fucking Josie Rebel, man. UK legend. But she's out here putting on for the UK in a big way. Always playing out some of the... She's always getting really cool bookings, man. Big up Josie Rebel. I love to see it. That's a great fucking stage, isn't it? That's a great booth to a DJ to play in. Look at all the fucking bits. Look at all the sculptures and the lightings as well. Nation of Gondwana might have to be the thing to kind of really knuckle down on and try and go next year, man. I always say this all the time, I know, but this really might be the one because this looks so fun. It looks so fucking well done. Look at that. I think she went to that place, innit? I think she went to... There's a guy in Berlin that does edits or does like customization on... I might need to hit him up. Maybe if I got time to... Maybe I should take my headphones with me when I go to Berlin. But there's a guy in Berlin who does like customizations of like Sennheiser HD25s. And he does like different color cups and ear pads and cables and stuff. Like fully customized. It's kind of pricey. It's kind of spenny. It's not cheap, but he does them all. With like real like... high quality parts, and I think he's got like Japanese fucking, you know what I mean, cables as well and shit. Like really fucking cool. Might have to check him out. I think that's the guy that did that. I think so. Yeah, out there. Looks like a great. I like what she's doing as well, by the way. This is kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. Because Nation of Gondwana is not really big on social media and putting a lot of stuff out there. This is kind of cool what she's doing here. Little edits of like hiding people's faces. So it's not, you know what I mean? That's kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. I don't mind that. That's kind of tasteful, you know? You still get your clips off. You still get your little DJ marketing bits and social media bits that you need out there, but not at the expense of everyone's fucking privacy, you know? Don't mind that. Great picture. That's like an example of like, this is a quintessential proper Berlin fucking festival, isn't it? Feet out in the fucking dust and the sand, the grass, whatever. That's a proper Berlin fest. That's like, that reminds you of the back in the days. Again, that reminds you of the times that I used to go. RIP to Grease Mueller. Do you know what I mean? Legendary era. Like, this is like, you know what I mean? Now everyone's too pretentious, everyone's too snob, everyone's too afraid to look cool. But this is what it really was like. Do you know what I mean? Getting the soles of your feet being blacker than me, and just you tripping balls. Love it. What's the review? So what she said? Habit ear. What I don't know what that means. I'm not gonna lie. Elixt Uch Ima Sulvi something. Favorite festival forever and ever. Thank you for everyone that came and danced with me. It was so special to be surrounded by so many friends, but also see so many of you showing up that day. The full set is now available online to listen to. It's hard to be a set like last year where everything felt magical. Coming back to We Stage was a sundowner instead of a sunrise, brought a lot of surprises, but I didn't want to replicate that moment. The idea of this set was to become part of the already beautiful long festival journey rather than making it a solo show about me. I wanted to give you a space to breathe and gently ease you into the night. So it's groovy, dubby and dreamy. It's not perfect. Like always, I'm on my own worst critic, but I hope you enjoyed listening. Big up to her, man. Big up Mary Montexier, man. Absolute legend. Love to see this. Let's actually go through their Instagram as well. There's some other clips here of people playing. Someone called Kenji Tanaka. Again, I wonder if they told them to do this, by the way. Is this like something they've been told to do? If you want to do DJ clips, you have to take them from this angle so you don't see people's faces. I think they did this on purpose, by the way. I think this is like a something that was, you know, instructed to the DJs. I think so. Because it doesn't look. See, they got exactly the same angle as Marie. Yeah, it looks fucking sick. I love it. Big up Nation of Gondwana, man. Big up Nation of fucking Gondwana. Yeah. Big up Nation of Gondwana. Absolutely great to see. Absolutely great to fucking see. Yeah, big up Josie Rebel doing her thing as well. Is any tag things as well you can see here? Any nice little tagged clips in Bus? What's this person?
Nation of Gondwana 2026. Ich finde, eine Woche danach kann man immer noch eine Review senden. Und ich würde sagen, Nation of my life. Wann habe ich das?
When was the last time I danced and raved this? Oh, rah. Everyone's hyping it. When was the last time I danced and raved this much at a nation? I did like I did this year. I need to go next year. Man. I have to go next year. It's literally one of the best festivals to go to. I literally must go. I'll probably do this over going to fucking Stone Techno. I'm not going to lie, because Stone Techno's got, you know, this year reviews have been fucking terrible. Obviously with the overselling and shit. I need to go. This is great. When was the last time I danced and raved this much at Nation like I did this year? Okay, last year was already a lot, 5 years ago, but this year, man, unbeatable. I went to Nation for the first time 18 years ago. 30 euros on the edge of the field in cash. Of course, everything was changed a bit now. It's gotten bigger and more professional. I honestly don't even remember what it looked like back then. Some things have stayed the same. It's a lot of change too, quite a bit of for the better. What she says here in German. I heard so incredibly good sets this year. Ziolin, for example. Jen Cardini. Ablon Emerson was there. Oh, the legendary Emerson too. Amazing. On the Wheels, who really swept me away there. Definitely Dasher Roche, Rod had, yeah, rock solid sets, no question. But I big up Rod had. I feel like he was going a bit mainstream and commercial, and he kind of reined it back in a bit. I'm not sure if that was purposely done. I felt like he was I don't know. I felt like he was like turning into Skrillex at some point. That makes sense. Maybe I'm mistaken there. But big up Rod had for like pulling it back. Big up Rod had for pulling it back. After that came Suzman or Zuniman. Never heard of her before, but she absolutely delivered. Who else is talking about here? After that was a live back. Unfortunately, I don't remember who it was anymore. Kenji Tanaka, but he also was amazing. And Ariki on the weird stage too. Man, props. Then a short lunch break, and after that, a nice start into Sunday. Nation of Gondwana to it was, in my perception, the queerest nation I've ever experienced. That's nice to hear. I've rarely seen and noticed so many queer people there, but this year definitely. That's the thing as well. Like, there's not like, maybe it's just the population of like, I don't know. As much as I hate, much as I think sometimes there's too much straight abuse in my opinion. There's too much criticism of straight people in the dance scene. I think, especially in places like Berlin, with the popularity of club culture, so there's a bit too much hate with straights. But I do understand that, because what you fell in love with when you first went to a place like Berlin was the queerness of it all. Was the weirdness, the freakiness, the oddballs. Do you know what I mean? Like the proper like people that were on the edges of society. You know what I mean? Doing their own thing. And those people have kind of, you know, been, I won't say frozen out, pushed out, maybe weirded out, straightened out. I don't know. They're not around as much as more. So it kind of makes the dance floor not as vibrant, you know? Not as random, not as cool, not as fun. So when people say, yeah, this is the queerest thing, I loved it, I understand. Although it sometimes can be a little bit too much straight hatey thing, I get it. 5 years ago, I was also my girlfriend at Nation, so to speak. We already knew each other, but she created a real key moment here, there, and ever since we've been obviously been going Nation together. Nation of my life. Okay, great to hear, man. Great to fucking hear. Who's this person? Showing what they did in July, obviously at Nation of Gondwana, the festival tent, but all the tents. Great to see everyone there having a blast, and the audience, the lightings and stuff. Look at that, man. Honestly, like, I have to go, man. Look at this fucking, what's this? Look at this light performance. Look at this lighting performance thing that everyone's sitting down watching. This is so cool. There's someone performing there. I don't know who that is. That's somebody called Baran Cook and a person called Ikimil. Cool. is that? This is a person called, what's that? Miss Keta. Cool. This is CSD Berlin, looks like, right? Which is probably the best time to go. It's obviously full of tourists. It's probably going to be really busy. It's probably the best time to go because it's going to be, you know, full of the queers, full of the gays, full of the FAGS. Okay, cool. Everyone's there having a blast. Love parade shit. Yeah, nothing. Looks like fun, man. Looks like fucking fun. Big up fucking Nation of Gondwana. Big up Nation of Gondwana hype. Big up the Nation of Gondwana hype. Yeah, these niggas in Berlin, they chop down the fucking Caucasian thing. Big up this guy though. But these niggas, they chop down the Caucasian things. So you see a nigga like this, he's just got a whole crew full of Caucasian things. These type of guys in Berlin, they chop, they go they chop the non-blacks. They go crazy, bro. Yo. Big up this guy though. Big up him. Big up him one time. Big up him one time. Yeah, these kind of guys, they don't play when it comes to chopping down the Caucasian things. They don't kind of play. They do not play. Any more Nation of Gondwana things I'm gonna see here? Big up Cleopatra's in jail. Some are giving exactly what it's supposed to give. Beautiful. Who's that playing? A Nation of Gondwana? Someone called Lucas. Pick up Lucas. Smoking with a cigarette. Smoking with a cigarette in your hand is definitely an aura, isn't it? It's definitely fucking performative, isn't it? Not aura, sorry. It's definitely performative. You're aura farming and it's definitely performative, isn't it? Smoking with a cigarette in between your fingers like that, with one hand has fingerless gloves on, black leather fingerless gloves, and like that's performative as fuck, isn't it? It looks cool, don't get me wrong. It looks cool as fuck, but it's definitely performative as fuck as well. You know, you could easily smoke in between. You don't need to be smoke. You know, I mean, like, come on, man. Cigarette in one hand, black fingerless gloves in there. Come on, you know what you're doing. Big up Lucas though. Woohoo! That sounds good. This one looks fun, man. Nation's like a vibe. Yeah, Nation. I think that's whole. That might be no. That might be Stone Techno, isn't it? Oh, I need. My New York boots are the other version. Are the all black. But I've always wanted these. I wanted the flames. I don't have the flame ones. They're so cute. Very expensive nowadays though. These I got mine for like 50 quid on eBay, but now they've become really trendy. New York boots have become super trendy now, so they're really expensive and hard to get. But these are really nice. Those flame ones. But outside, yeah, man. Outside. We outside with it. Nice. That's a great picture, by the way. It's a fucking great picture. But yeah, Nation of Gondwana is a hype thing. Can't wait to be there. Maybe next year. Maybe not say maybe. Let's just do next year, man. Let's make next year the year that we finally go to fucking Nation of Gondwana. Needs to make it happen, man. Need to fucking make it happen because it looks like a vibe. Not gonna lie. Yeah, a big up Jason as well. Or JS9 on the stream chat. It looks good, innit? It looks fucking great. It looks fucking great, man. Yeah, Nation of Gondwana. What else is going on here anymore? Bits and bobs, not a lot. What's this?
Leute, und ich muss noch was loswerden.
Want to get off my chest?
A Nation of Gondwana.
Wow, everyone's giving it props, man. Look at these reviews. Dude, I had such a good time. The Earth. The One workshop, which we times and make the main crew to anti-racist, think and act. Why I have to get 2 tickets as a gift. Thanks again. It was such a good time. I mean, I've been to a few festivals, but it was so special because I saw many women, so many Flinter who were DJing. Yeah, it seemed very non-male centric, to be fair. The lineup seemed like a lot of women. I do like that, by the way. It's just because I always said, as a guy that's booked my own, as a guy that's put on my own nights, as a guy that's booked my own fair of DJs over the years, it does, you know, as sometimes annoying as it can be, the whole gender lineup disparity and split on lineups, no one can deny, if you do have a lineup where there are a few more women than men, it does make a difference in terms of the sound, in terms of the sonics, in terms of the atmosphere, in terms of the feel on the dance floor. I can't even imagine how far it goes when you book someone that's queer, someone that's gay. It kind of does change how the dance floor kind of moves, and the appeal and the draw. It just changes the energy, and it's a good thing. So it can be nice to kind of mixing it up a little bit. So I'm not surprised that it did what it did, and it was a vibe that the way that it was, given the lineup. So one blatant flaring for each other. Also, yes, I'm sure the community here, pure here where they are, visible, and thanks, just thank you. It was giving me so much in the one empowerment. Yeah, so yeah, she's loving it. This girl loved it. Big up her. She fucking loved every minute of it. It seemed like. Is there more? There's not more there. Another person there. Jennifer Cardini fan club forever. These girls in front of Jennifer Cardini fan club being hyped. Nation of Gondwana press pass stage access. Spent the weekend 2 wonderful festivals that were so fun that I, certified cell phone addict, almost never took any fun out to document anything. That's a good indication you had a good time at a festival. If you go to a festival and you don't take out your phone, festivals are kind of made to be social media content machines, right? Festivals nowadays are produced in a way where they're made for you to get your phone out. So if you don't get your phone out, it's a sign it's a good festival. Thank everybody at Nation of Gondwana for the crowd, dancing, the sun was frying you alive, to the wonderful artist Care making us feel great, and thank you to the wonderful bonkers people at KW29 Festival for letting the bestest, this person called, I don't know who that was, to go back to back again after years not playing together. Possible giggles. I'm tired and happy. Love to see that. Tired and happy is a good feeling. Yeah, love to see it. Love to see it. That looks fucking great. Pick up them. And another person here. Nation of Gondwana is over. Look at all the reviews. So many glowing reviews. Nation of Gondwana is over. DJing there was for the first time. Big up this person. Bonjour. Was that Bonjour Ben? Big up Bonjour Ben. DJing here for the first time was quite an experience. Taking over the stage at night after it had been so charged with high energy music left me feeling pretty unsure of myself and the start of my set. My record bag wasn't packed quite right, and I didn't have the confidence to handle such a major shift in the musical mood and the ease. The dance floor emptied out significantly, and it took me a while to find my groove. Yeah, that was always brutal. I can only imagine what that's like as a DJ. Going to a festival and seeing the dance floor like clear out because they don't like what you're playing is brutal. I can't imagine what it's like at that kind of level, especially at a festival like that where you know they're not, these are like music people, these are not like hipsters, these are not like trend, you know what I mean? These are not fucking clout chasers, these are not people that just jumped on the bandwagon so everyone's on it, you know what I mean? These are actual music aficionados, real heads, real what people would like to describe as regulars. So when they cleared the dance floor, that could be a real ego death, a real bruising. So the fact that he was able to gather himself and get back to it and still deliver a good set is great. My record bag wasn't packed quite right, and I didn't have the confidence to handle the major shift in musical mood and ease. The dance floor emptied out significantly, and it took me a while to get my groove. But by the end of the set was the most beautiful for it, and I want to thank everyone that carried those final tracks with me. It was a lovely moment. I also want to thank the Berghain claw through who looked after me so appreciatively the whole time and treated my friends as if they were their own. Summer isn't over yet for me, though I still have 5 more festivals coming up. I'm excited to see what happens. Yeah, big up here. So lovely to see that. What's this person saying in German? Such a situation is not easy, but you must not forget one thing: you stay true to yourself and people who have stayed true to you. At festivals, the section is large enough for everyone. Hey Ben, strong for sharing this so openly. You can clearly imagine what was an easy situation. Exactly why I find it so respectful that you stay true. the way that you talk about what you feel with so much openness, and the way that you talk about those hard moments as a DJ. Your posts are always honest and without ever being melodramatic. You share beautiful and magical moments of grace as much as of doubts and of tougher nights. It always brings me so much humanity. Yeah, it's refreshing to hear, because everyone's always talking about how they're killing it, how they're crushing it. So it is quite nice to see someone just being real without being too, like, you know what I mean? Without being too much of a Debbie Downer. And just be like, hey, I kind of fucked up with my selection. I'm playing vinyl. So when you play vinyl, there is no USB, there is no do-overs. What you have to just make it work. But it was just hard at the start, but I figured it out. It's nice. I wasn't there, Nation, but like a lot of people, I can say your passion and integrity, you stay true to your identity. The people who left were simply searching for a different energy. I know it's easy to say from the side of the dance floor, but a smaller crowd is completely one is better than an enormous one. Exactly. A smaller crowd one is better than an enormous one. I agree with that one. A smaller crowd that's down for you is better than one that just dare to clap chase. I agree with that one. Big up, yeah. So big up her. Big up Ben. Big up Bonjour Benjamin. Actually, what type of stuff does he play, by the way? What type of stuff does he fucking play? Yeah, I would have stayed. Yeah, big up Bonjour Ben. Big up Bonjour Ben. Love to see it. But yeah, big up Nation of Gondwana. Big up Nation of Gondwana. Big up Blood Clot Nation of Gondwana. You love to see it. You love to see it. Okay, people. That has been it. Agostinho Zinga Show episode number, was it? 1640. No, 1664. I've got two other things to talk about that I didn't talk about, which I'm going to talk about in the next show, which were the Orange Joan article, the Orange John thing about the anti-mainstream thing, and I also got to talk about the simping article that came out in The Cut recently. There's a really good article on simping and simps in The Cut that I've got to cover, so please bear with me. That will come in the next show. But I've got to get prepared. I've got to meet your friend later, so I'm going to go out. So thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to have your company. Thanks so much for tuning in. Smash like, hit subscribe if it's your first time being here. Smash like, hit subscribe. Smash the like, hit subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys again later on tomorrow for more. Later on tonight for random show. But for now, take care, be well. Those of you that care about my tune of the days, I'll be playing my song of the day, which will be, if I'm not mistaken, my song of the day is by a guy called Marco Consonni. This is from the new songs that dropped recently. This past weekend. Big up Marco Consonni. He's got a new song called Own Me. That's be my song I'll be playing. Marco Consonni, Own Me will be my song of the day. Marco Consonni, Own Me will be my song of the day, playing for those of you only listening on Kick. On Kick, in the audio side of the podcast, you hear it. Everybody else, unfortunately, it'll fade to black and you won't hear nothing because I don't want to get copyright striked. But the song of the day will be from this person here called Marco Consonni, called Own Me. That'll be my song of the day. Big up Marco Consonni. The song is called Own Me. That'll be my song of the day for those of you that care. Everybody else, I'll see you guys soon. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Take care. Be well. Peace.